right. Good evening, friends. Welcome once again. Tonight is very, very exciting because this is the grand finale of Wrong Side of the Wall Season 2, A Walk Through the Wastes. Tonight, the 6th and final episode, I Am Order. So
we're going to get to level up after this one, right?
So without further ado, the 20 levels awaiting you, definitely.
Nice.
So without further ado, Thomas,
you'll get your reward.
You have
your eternal reward.
No, don't put it like that. No.
You'll get what's coming to you. You'll get what
No.
you deserve.
No.
Thomas, you
Stop
have
it.
recap duty tonight, so I will pass the conch over to you.
All right. My recap is a slightly different format. I'm going to be doing it from the voice of John. I've come up with a premise for that. So, all right. Okay. Yeah, Murph. No, it's rolling, right? Yeah. No, good. No. Okay. And it can be ejected, right? So it's not just like your tape forever, because I don't want people hearing this through you. Oh, okay. Good. All right. This is hi. I'm John Smith. I'm a student at Humber College's superhero program. I hope someone, really just anyone I've ever known or knew, hopefully from my world, whatever. I hope you get this. I've been thinking a lot lately. I guess in the wasteland, thinking is one of the only things you really have to fill the time. In my world, we have all these kids, myself included, I guess. We're running around trying to learn what it is to be a hero. We sit in a classroom, we talk about right and wrong, and we're told we're the next generation. The next generation. Why? Because we managed to beat some poor schmuck to a pulp in an underground fight ring so we could afford to pay tuition? So that could be us? Is that really it? I don't know. We took those classes. Hell, I was top of my class. And all it took was me and four extremely capable individuals. I mean, just truly the best of the best. All we had to do was take one wrong stairway down to end up in a basement. And that made our next generation look like scared toddlers that were way out of their depth. I don't know where they are now. I hope they're okay. Something's been made clear to me by my time in the wasteland. True heroes are born of necessity and conviction. A burning hot need to do right. To save the world. Well, maybe just to save those that they can. The world's a tall order. People who are tempered by trial and tribulation, that's what makes a hero. Not a classroom, no matter who it's backed by. Now, in this world, I have been shown destitution beyond what was even possible in my world. People scrabbling for the most basic resources while basking in the glow of toxic muck. It is disgusting. Meanwhile, those with privilege hold enough resources and firepower to take and hold what they want. Hell, we just finished trekking 6 days through the wasteland on the whim of a protectron, whatever, for the broker. I don't know who these fucking people are, but at the very least, during that trek, I managed to talk a little bit with Noah about how to do right in this vapid wasteland. He's surprisingly a good dude, despite his seeming lack of scruples. So we get to this place. With the help of Dr. Diath, Noah was able to lock to a low frequency originating from the vault door. Aaron was able to clear a path using his power armor so we can make our way up the mountain. We get into this place, this vault, whatever that is even supposed to be. It's like a bunker, I guess. The common room was all mussed up with what looked like animal claws and like they were bashing against the walls. We went into I went into the bathroom. There was this guy who killed himself, and then in the next stall over, there was a weird gerbil with rat arms. And I'll get to that in a minute. It's wild. Then there was a man, if you want to talk about wild, there was a man shoved feet first into a toilet that looked like he somehow turned into porcelain. I know. When we kind of looked into it, we were looking on these computer terminals. We discovered that the goal of this vault was to develop some sort of teleportation. just like in that goddamn basement that me and my boys went in back home. And unfortunately, if the area being teleported to was occupied, the objects would fuse and change like on a molecular level. That's why that dude turned into like a porcelain toilet man. And I guess why that gerbil turned into like a rad gerbil. Anyways, we went down to the medical bay. There were some mole rats, pretty normal in the wasteland. They're bigger than back home. And there were also these some like really messed up, like I'm talking abominations, head of an ant, eyes of a bear, praying mantis arm, goat legs, kind of like what you expect to see if you go to hell. That kind of stuff. So I imagine the teleportation research is probably going quite well for them, swimmingly, really. Anyway, it was dark, and I didn't want to do some horror survival garbage, so I lit the place up with a Molotov cocktail. Not a great move. There was these oxygen tanks in the ICU. The fire was spreading. Not good. Thankfully, we managed to put the flaming abominations to rest, smother the fire. Everyone's all good. And here we are. A couple minutes of a breather. I decided now was the right time. The sound dampening in this vault is pretty good, so the recording should come out all right. Anyways, my point is, I don't know. I just wonder. I asked this broker guy for a way back home, but these people are doing a lot worse than we are back home. I wonder if maybe I wasted my one question. Maybe I should ask something like, I don't know, how can we get rid of the radiation? How can I help these people? How can I stop the order? Black Talon. Feels like what I did was self-serving, but in the end, I want a safe place to go home to as well. Maybe that makes me a coward. I don't know if I'm cut out to be a hero after all, but for now, I guess we got to go downwards. So I guess this is the end of this log or whatever. Hey, thanks, Murph. You can stop. You can actually. Oh, sorry, John Smith, signing off. Yeah, Murph, you can stop the tape now. Hey, Aaron, you okay? That really was a big piece of debris. It was just. I can't believe this vault's falling apart for no reason like that.
For the last time, I'm fine.
Love it. That was great.
I know it was a bit more long-winded than normal, but
yeah. Oh, it was great, Thomas.
That was excellent.
It was very
Loved it.
excellent. Yeah. So
We had to let the hero monologue. Come on.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. A great look into your psyche. And Christian did something similar with Andre in season 1. I think it's fitting. So
yeah, that was kind of what drove me towards doing something like that. So.
I like how both of you took the world you were in and did something with. Like he did a message in a bottle, and you did like a holotape. Basically, I think that was very good. So
yeah, I messaged Christian like 3 minutes before I joined the call. Like, by the way, gonna use Murph as a recording device.
Yeah.
The problem is Murphy doesn't have an ejection slot.
Yeah.
He told me. He said, "Oh, God damn it,
it's fine."
So I have injected.
And it gets corrupted to go. All it does is Obi-Wan Kenobi, Smith, you're our only hope.
Oh my Jesus Lord! I just reopened Google Chrome to go back on Roll20, and all of the notification sounds happened at the same time. It was like 30 sounds all at once, so loud.
Yeah.
GG.
It happened to me too. I minimized Roll20 to open a word thing. I came back and it was just a really loud that
it scared me.
Blind.
I was legitimately scared.
I was like, why is it so loud? But now it's not happening.
What?
Yeah. Huh? Thank you, Thomas. That was very good. So, bring us into session 6. We are, we're still in the medical facility, the second floor of this vault. We know from the schematics you guys were able to grab from one of the computer terminals that there is 4 floors. You are on floor number 2. The last thing you guys did was get onto the medical officer's computer, and amongst some other logs, some funny, some enlightening, you managed to find the password to the overseer's office. which is presumably on the floor below. So, you've taken a chance to scour around. Dr. Diaz, like I mentioned last session, you managed to find 2 stim packs. Everything else in the med bay is either just junk or definitely not safe to use, or has been looted over or destroyed by the abomination things, or whatever. Take your pick. That is what you're able to find. So at the moment, the path seems to be down the stairs. So, gentlemen, take it away. And yes,
Well,
thank you. Richard has reposted the password. Thank you.
Well, I guess it's a good thing we got rid of that fire since we, have to keep going down.
It would have put itself out one way or another, and hopefully all of us would have survived.
What
Enough
fire?
belly aching. Let's go.
The doctor's in a hurry for once. Excellent. Gentlemen, down another floor. But again, keep your eyes peeled. This place is clearly dangerous.
So I just need to throw this out to everybody. This teleportation thing, if this is truly what the broker wants, are we supposed to give it to him, seeing what it's done so far?
That's a valid question. How
Just
much
a
are we
thought.
willing to trade for the answers to our questions?
It was the deal we made.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't really know what the broker's final goal here is.
That doesn't matter.
It does matter because the people who ran this vault were seemingly, pardon my French, they were real dipshits, This
Pretty
technology,
standard.
it's not bad technology. You could use this to do some good.
John, if you haven't really already found this out, everybody's a dipshit around here, including us.
Right,
I don't
but
have any opportunity to speak about other universes, but it's kind of a general rule here.
I mean, this broker guy, I don't know if he's a good dude or a bad dude, but he at least seems to kind of have his stuff together. So
Yeah,
I
but
guess that means he's either really dangerous or really useful when he gets this
Now
technology.
you're catching on.
By this point, you guys have reached the bottom of the stairs, so you are now on the 3rd floor, or the third from down.
how many stairs were there? Because that was a long conversation.
So
Hardly.
it was a spiral staircase, but you were still over by the computer, which was on the far end. So I'm assuming that was walking across the floor, going down the stairs,
Casually strutting across.
being
Nice.
cautious, whatever.
You also
So-
got to watch out
Corners.
for traps and random mutated creatures running out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
Exactly, tripwires and such.
Crabs.
At the bottom of the stairs,
Hollow mines.
there's another long, slender hallway. You're starting to get used to those. It opens quickly into a large laboratory. And I say lab, there's, it could easily be a junk pile. There's an assortment and array of things scattered around the room, obviously having a lot of it being left in a disorderly manner. It's a lot cleaner down here than the first 2 floors, and this is the first time you've come across a room that didn't have things embedded in the walls that weren't supposed to be there. And there's everything ranging from little beakers and most of them broken, of course, and little holders for said beakers and test tubes and that kind of thing, all the way up to just random pieces of junk, wires, cables, just sort of all strewn around onto various desks and stuff. You get the sense that at some point this was arranged nicely and categorically, and at some point it all got sort of messed up. At the back on the left corner wall and the right corner wall, there is a terminal in each corner. They are both sort of humming in low power mode, as the other terminals you have found have been. And then, sharp left and right from the main lab, there are further dormitories, like you saw upstairs. And then, finally, at the far end of the lab, immediately, south of where you are right now, there's another hallway marked to Overseer's office. So if you can imagine, big, huge square room, which is the lab, dorms on either side, to the left and to the right, overseer's office immediately ahead, and in the corners are computer terminals.
And so,
And you
Okay.
mentioned that this area did not have a whole bunch of things fused with the walls for the first
No.
time ever.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the area's in disarray. There's like crap scattered everywhere, but there's no bodies and walls.
Literal crap or just like a bunch of junk?
A bunch of junk. Yes.
Okay.
What about
You do need to be specific here.
what about objects and other objects and objects in walls?
Yes. There is nothing in the walls here. So,
Are there walls?
There are walls, and they are metallic and hard, just like all the other ones.
thank
Okay.
God. It would be really bad if we walk down the stairs and we're just in an infinite void.
When will there be walls?
Guys, we can't get out. There's no walls.
So this lab that
Going
we're
back
in,
up.
this lab that we're in is you mentioned it's a big room. As far as we can tell, it is not habituated by anything other than us at the moment.
Yes. There's not a peep down here other than the soft humming of the terminals in the corners.
This is good.
A peep,
As far as
okay.
you don't hear anything. But yeah, there's just stuff scattered everywhere. So
You know, I am definitely all for checking out these terminals. Maybe we should clear the dormitories first. Make sure nothing's going to creep up on us while we're doing our like hacker shtick.
Yeah, I was
It'd
thinking the
probably-
same thing.
Be the best idea, yes.
Well, I'll take one, and all of you take the other.
Why bother splitting up at all?
It's faster that way.
I'm not in a hurry.
Faster is not safer at this point. It took us almost a week to get here. It's going to take us almost a week to get back. We could take another 10 minutes to clear the
All
floor.
right, how about I'm in a giant suit of armor and you guys aren't?
Right. So you can do both. Thanks.
Cool.
Also, just so you know, Noah, I am still holding out hope that there's like a cool vertibird helipad down here. That's what you guys call them, right? Like,
is-
we're not gonna have to walk 6 days. There's definitely like a car, a fly car.
yes,
I'm gonna
yes,
shut up.
A vehicle, yes. Something that we would have seen fused through a wall at this point, most likely.
Well, if it all
I
works
wouldn't-
out, John, we can just teleport you back.
They would. Well,
You can be the
Okay.
test subject, if you'd
You've
like.
never had any
John.
problems
Hey.
with those, right?
hey, here's the thing. When you guys teleport me, I'll just aim for something that isn't in something else. I never miss after all.
You will not hit it. Well,
No, no. Would
hold
that
on.
mean that you do hit it though? Because you never miss.
John starts walking down one of the dormitory hallways. He's not even.
Yeah, I go the opposite way.
Dr.
Okay.
Dieth sits down on one of the stairs.
Okay.
Murphy is next to Dr. Dieth.
Yes, hold
The-
the rear, you two.
The
Can do,
dorms
Chief.
are messy. There's clothes littered about. Most of the bunk beds have been like tossed to one side. There's a couple of mole rats and other little vermin in the dorms, but they scurry and scatter away as soon as you guys enter. Nothing particularly threatening. There is, and I will mention this again, a surprising lack of corpses. And it's only surprising because up till now, every room you've passed through has something that should not be in a wall.
Sorry, and what
Um,
was this floor designated as again? 2 was medical lab. 3, what was 3?
Lab, just main lab.
Just science lab. Okay,
Science
or,
lab, yeah.
or whatever.
And 4 was the void.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
There's no walls
Um,
down there.
The from what you can tell from the signs, which are a bit faded but still have displays on them, these dorms are labeled scientist dorms. So you get the sense that those who were on the science team were segregated from those who weren't.
Yeah, they
For
wouldn't.
whatever reason.
They wouldn't want them accidentally testing on their scientists.
how
Only the
many-
regular population.
Actually, hold on. How many beds are there in each of these dorms?
Hard to tell because a lot of the mattresses are missing and some of the bunks have been overturned. But I would say like less than half of what there was on the commons floor.
And how many were in the commons?
So I would say overall between the 4 dormitories you've now walked through, this vault probably held somewhere in the ballpark of 250 people.
None of them.
Slightly more than half were not apparently residing in the scientist area.
That's a lot of appendicitis.
Gentlemen, you'd think we would see a lot more death. Considering I came from a vault that had a few hundred people, there's not. Where did they all go?
There's still one more floor.
Look,
Oh God!
first
Could
of
also be all
all,
embedded in the superstructure for all we know.
out of character, when John found the dormitory clear, he went back to the main room so we can all be having this conversation together.
Okay.
Oh yeah, since I made a comment, I guess I'd be back too.
All right.
All
Yes,
right,
and
cool.
This is post exploration. Yes.
Right,
Well,
so Dieth again says could all be part of the superstructure by now for all we know.
it could be that. I mean, one would also imagine that, since I'm not a religious man, but I'm going to use some religious terms here. These people see science as their god, and basically they're willing to sin all they want as long as just what they can do is good science learnings. So their scientists are probably like prophets or whatever. Like they're not gonna merge their scientists with the walls, right? Only the people above ground.
You
You know?
have a higher opinion of their ability to think this through than I do.
I mean, yeah, probably eventually they ran out of regular folk to test on and started testing on like the dumber scientists. But I mean, I imagine they at least tried to keep this area clean as it's their church or whatever. This metaphor is getting a little long in the tooth.
Yeah, I think you're kind of overthinking it, John.
John, you give me an idea. And it is also, I guess, biblical in nature. If they can fuse beings with walls and objects, I would hope that they haven't fused them with each other.
Well, where'd they get all the monsters and other bits and bobs for the people upstairs?
I guess we still have another floor to search then, don't we?
What fun that'll be.
I
And
think
before
we
that-
will be fine.
Nice.
Thank you, Murphy. Always the vote of confidence. But we do still have the Overseer's office to secure.
We also have these 2 terminals.
By all means.
Okay. Who checks the terminal?
I guess that's something that I can assist with.
I guess I'm doing one since I brought it up.
Okay. Doesn't really matter which one's which. So let's say, DS, you spoke first. So this is the log you find on your terminal.
Oh, you don't need us to roll?
Nope.
Just that
Okay.
easy.
Why do you need passwords when everybody's on the science team?
Milkshake recipe?
If it would be so kind as to read it
That
out.
guy made some good milkshakes.
Well, I don't know. If we just teleport bananas back through time.
To Dr. Lamas. Milkshake recipe. 1 banana. 2 bananas. Lots of bananas. We're totally out of bananas. Maybe use something else. 2 scoops of ice cream. 1 milk. 1 shake. Seriously, why would I know how to make this? Jerry knew the secret, and you sent him through a fucking wall. You're a scientist. You figure it out. Riveting.
What if
Right.
okay, here's a good part of the secret. Forget 1 shake. What if you teleport a banana into some ice cream and some milk and you make one big, like on a molecular level, forget the shake. It's already the perfect shake.
I'm
Perfect
wondering
mix.
if that's what they did try to do first.
I guess
God,
you could
this is-
make banana flavored ice cream or ice cream that has the shape and properties of a banana?
Ah, my good God, they're really pushing the bounds of science here. It's the best invention that was ever made, surely.
You can take this back to whatever your world is, John, and make 1,000,000 caps easily.
I'm considering teleporting myself into a wall all of a sudden.
All right, errant ways. This is what
Just
you
as long
find
as you don't
on-
teleport yourself into a banana.
That would be dangerous.
I cannot miss.
Errant ways. This is what you find on your terminal.
All right, got one here too. Phase 3 has begun. Despite the earlier shortcomings, we learned a lot of important principles about quantum reality and physical boundaries. Team believes they can retrofit the pods for even longer range travel in 3 months' time.
Is there a date on that log?
No, none of the
there
logs
a-
so far have been dated.
There's no date on any of these logs.
Well, we haven't seen these pods so far, so I'm imagining that's what's on floor 4.
Probably
Hold
kept
on.
the equipment away from the riffraff.
How long has this been down here derelict?
Well, if they close this place off the same time as the rest of the vaults, a couple 100 years.
Do you
Out
think
of
they fucked
character.
it up within the first 10 minutes?
Out of character, yes.
Out of character, just going through these first 3 levels of stuff, and based on what we've seen in the wasteland with like the decay and just basically everything just going slowly into ruin and like turning into nature and stuff like that, can we have like any intuition into like how long we think this place has been kind of abandoned? Anything like that?
Oh, interesting. The vault was sealed, and it obviously reseals when you close, so a lot of nature hasn't gotten in exactly. The bodies that were not fused with something were very heavily decayed, indicating they've been here for months on end.
But also outside of that, like just the general, like how much dust collection there was, and just like showing its age type of idea that it's basically been abandoned and not kept up.
The air filters and things like that in the vault are still running, even on low power, so it's not as dusty as you might expect it to be. But if you had to take an educated guess, it's probably been inactive for 5 to 6 months, maybe. But that's an educated guess, and most of that's based on the decay of the corpses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Just figured since we're going down here that we would kind of be able to all kind of collect and understand that, you know.
Yeah, I think the most pertinent thing all of you have noticed, regardless of your knowledge of deterioration or whatever, is that this floor is in much better shape than the first 2. So
Hard to say when they started fucking things up, but chances are that it's been a while since they finished.
Do they have the appropriate ingredients to create that recipe?
If you see any bananas, let us know.
I will keep my eyes peeled.
Murphy spends the rest of the session looking for bananas.
That's what he wants from the broker now.
Yeah,
he gets locked in RPG jail.
Yeah, I've changed my mind. Forget the keys. All right. So yeah, so that's all you find on the terminals. It isn't just like 1s and 0s, basically. And these terminals also have the same schematics you found up top, I'll call it. Otherwise, they don't really seem to hold anything. Curious, considering that these seem to be the main terminals of this lab. So someone probably wiped most of what was on here. So, or they just didn't record a lot. So,
Right. Well, we got one hallway left to the overseer's office, so or down, but
Well,
probably
we got
finish
that.
one floor at a time would be ideal.
mhm.
Well, we got that password, so we might as well.
Let's see if we can't find more details about the why as well as the what.
At the end of the hall that it terminates in the overseer's office, there's a metal sliding door. There's a little port window. The window's not glass. It's some kind of like, sort of like, thick plastic they would use in like a military base that would be like, bullet resistant. And there's a little keypad on one side, a numbered keypad. You get the idea. Does someone type in the password?
Noah is standing in front of the keypad, and he is frozen with his finger like half an inch from any of the buttons.
Like you
He's-
don't remember what's going on, Noah.
Bad memories.
What you
Gentlemen,
doing, boss?
You have to realize that the last time I was in an overseer's office was a terrible day.
Right.
This is... Okay.
Well, if it matters at all,
6, 7,
this ain't your
2,
overseer's office, so
3, 4. You're right, it isn't mine.
When
This
you
is not even a vault-tech vault, as so I
Hmm.
gather. So
Once you punch into 4, the door slides open. The overseer's office.
Similar enough in
is-
design, though.
Yes.
Overseer's office and all.
Yeah.
And
There's
certainly
enough-
similar enough in their intention for the people dwelling within.
Indeed.
So
There's
as
enough.
so as not to upset Noah, John like leans back to whisper to Dr. DF this. Okay, look, here's the thing. I've never been in one of the real Vault-Tec ones. So like the worst part is for me, if I ever go in one of the real Vault-Tec ones, this is gonna be like the original. See, like the original for me is like a knockoff, like a facsimile. So like in the future, this is all gonna be messed up, you know?
You always remember your first.
You know, it's like people who are like, "Oh, Sean Connery was the best Bond." I'm like, "No, it's Pierce Brosnan because I saw Goldeneye first." You know?
I don't know who either of those people are.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were alive before the war, so I just assumed. You know what? Let's go in this office.
And yeah, I was gonna say, Noah, it is similar enough that there are the mental triggers of this is definitely an office and this is definitely an overseer, but do that with that what you will. The office is pretty plainly adorned. There's a simple. The room is oval, so most of the furniture is roundish to match that. The desk has a curve to it. It's just sort of a regular, pretty austere wooden desk. There's a terminal sitting on top of it. There's a couple of books on a bookcase on one wall. The books are all ranging from like very basic. There's like 5 books total. When I say there's a variety of books, there's like 5 total. 3 of them are physics textbooks. John, and I don't think anyone else, maybe DF, would recognize them as like high school level kind of physics textbooks, the ones you'd have in like grade 11 physics or something. And one looks just like a leather-bound journal, and the last one is a cookbook. So, anyways, otherwise,
Does it say "to serve man" on the cover by any chance?
It's a cookbook.
I was just there as well.
Yes,
Nice.
man, yeah. No, it does not say that. So,
All right.
It's a different episode from season 3. So anyways, and then pretty much that's it. And there's a chair. Otherwise, and there's like a really, really, really worn down carpet. Like it's like a really ugly, like puke green color.
Ew.
To live in the 1980s.
No.
Was the 2070s, John?
They never did get over the puke green, did they?
Probably, I guess not here.
Wait, the carpet was like that to begin with?
Oh God, I hadn't even considered that possibility. Jesus.
Look at these shit brown walls. Wonder how they got like that.
God, it really is just off-brand vault tech, isn't it?
I think Vault Tech is off-brand, whatever this is. As far as I'm
made
concerned.
this? Was this China? Oh my God, is this a Chinese sleeper cell?
At a certain
John
certain
sits in the
point
overseer's chair. It looks comfortable.
a certain point in the war. Whoa. Daring.
John, you want... This isn't a fault. This isn't my fault. Check the computer for, anything while you're there. And he's just not making eye contact and, looking at all the walls and anything else.
Pardon my reach. And Dieth reaches around John at the overseer's chair there to tap in a few basic commands.
Yes.
Don't recognize this, but it looks like it's got a thin client connected to some mainframe, probably on the next level down.
If you could roll science for me, Dieth, that would be appreciated. Excellent. I'll just answer your question out loud, Errant, since I'm in description mode anyways. Is there anything I'm seeing today? You spy what might be like some kind of power cable or something running underneath the desk into the ground, indicating that there's like a switch or a button maybe under the desk that opens something or triggers something. Something is like there's a cable for the terminal, but there's another cable that's just running into the ground. So that you spy in your thermal mode. So,
Cool.
DS, meanwhile, you find this.
A bomb. Of words.
Novel.
It's the
this is
cookbook.
going to be fun for me. Dieth scrolls through the screens quickly, reading the contents, and then going back. I guess I do need to read this aloud. Listen up, everyone. We've done it. We really have broken through. All the deaths, all the accidents, all the new creations. They've been worth it for this moment. The jump was successful. Our team landed on another world. And Dieth looks at John as he's reading this. It wasn't like going to Mars. No, this was Earth. Just different. Somewhere else. This place doesn't even have nuclear missiles. You can just drink the water straight out of a river. We were successful in bringing simple plants back with us, although they didn't last long in this hellhole. We have had an issue with teams returning to us. Bravo team cut communications as not reported in. We sent Charlie team to find them, but they've abandoned ship too. I must admit, for all my professionalism and loyalty to this vault, I don't blame them. They'll have to put tighter restrictions on who can go. We found the most serious drawback in the machine's setup. It is a power-gulping nightmare. Every time someone jumps, something goes offline. We didn't even think that was possible. We have 20 times the power efficiency of regular vaults. And yet, this place was just not built for this. I wonder how many jumps we have left. And that's where the log ends.
Uh,
I guess we now know where they went.
Whatever one
Elsewhere.
of them could.
You know what's super annoying is that I wasted my question to the overseer because I found the answer in the place he sent us. And that is some goddamn horse shit.
Then you don't need to complete the deal with the overseer. You can just go.
Nah, John, it sounds like if we can dial this thing in properly, then you and I can go back to your world. It'd be fun.
Now maybe
Oh.
you can punch us all a ticket out of here.
Sounds good to me.
I don't imagine the people of your world would be particularly pleased to see me, but it's not like anybody here is either.
I'm
Yeah.
sure they might accept you, Doctor. He said there's all types of weird people out there. No offense,
Yeah.
John, with your powers.
No. I mean, like, yeah, we could definitely spin that to just be like part of your power, your like meta. Like okay.
Superpower.
So hey, do you remember
Dying very
Do
slowly.
you remember the other day when I told you about my buddy Rick? And by the other day, I mean I guess like the next floor up. Sorry, it's just so taxing here. Yeah, my buddy Rick, he's actually I never mentioned this. We call him Rick the Brick because he's a big man made out of bricks. So like we can
Yeah.
explain you away, no problem.
Well, I have to admit, you got my spirits up. Let's go find you your way home.
Fingers crossed.
And quite frankly, if this is truly what has happened, I don't want this in the hands of the broker.
We can all technically, then. I guess if we can figure it out, jump to safety and then leave a surprise behind to finish the machine off. Everybody wins.
Well, assuming, of course, that there's enough charges in this thing to send us all on our way.
Yeah, let's just one step at a time, this kind of thing.
Although I do still need to get what I need from the broker.
Will you honestly get what you need? I know I won't.
Well, if we know what this machine is, where it is, and how to use it, then maybe we can make a different deal. We're holding all of the cards. Unless, of course, he's traced us here.
I do
He knows
wish
exactly
to finish.
where we are.
I do wish to finish my part with the broker.
Well, let's just go and see if this thing even exists anymore.
One
if it
step at
works
a
before
time.
we get too far ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, my belly aching was mostly just because, like, even if this thing is broken, this thing is what he's going to tell me is the thing. Doesn't matter. Anyways.
It might not be the thing. We'll know it when we see it, apparently.
Well, since we are going down, if that's all you could find on the computer there, Doctor, it does seem there is a cable that's still actively powered and actually producing a bit of heat
Let
going
me see
down
if
to the
I can
floor.
trace where that might take us.
Almost like it has a switch of something, but
Oh,
I don't
know. I've seen these in the movies. John looks under the desk for a button.
Yep.
oh
there's a button.
yeah, out of character, yeah, because I don't think there are any stairs here, are there?
No, there's nothing here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
John
boys.
finds a button.
I actually there's actually a big button down here. Just want to check before I press it. We all want me to press this, right?
Well,
DF takes up a position
Well-
such that the bulk of the computer that he's at would probably shield him if panels started opening up and spewing bullets into the room. Yeah, sure.
well,
Noah steps into the doorway.
all I'm going to say is that according to the schematics, there's a fourth floor, but judging by what we can see here, there's no stairs down. So if there is a place to go down, it's probably from here.
Out of character, was there a set of stairs near the ones we came down on, or that
No,
was it?
the stairs you came down terminated here. But yeah, the schematics indicated there was a fourth floor, but there was no layout for it.
John holds his hand up in the air and he starts moving it down towards below the desk, like flipping it. And he goes, "All right, you guys have 5 seconds to stop me."
Let's just do it, John. Worst case scenario, just get behind me.
You
Boom.
got this.
John presses it.
Okay. The desk slides to one side until it hits the wall, and it reveals like a little hatch, like a trapdoor hatch. It's round and metal. It has one of those like wheels you have to like spin to open.
That's a little anticlimactic.
Oh, what do you expect?
I'm glad we're not all on fire.
I'm
No
just
offense,
glad we
John.
didn't. No, I get it. On fire because I expected self-destruct sequence initiated. You know what I mean?
That's a good call. I was thinking maybe just like dealing with a riot or something.
Is that something that happens?
What, self-destructs or riots?
Yes.
I guess both, considering I've been in, well...
Look, in my
Don't worry
world,
about
we read about it a lot. It seems like a really bad thing to put in your hideout, but like a lot of villains do it for some reason.
You would put a button that would destroy your entire plan and location. Years
Remember,
of work all gone.
To these scientists, it's their church. It's like the Holy Grail. If they can't have it, no one can. Press the button. You know what I mean?
Enough of that holy garbage, John. I'm opening the hatch.
Okay. With your it's effortless for you.
I do it with one finger.
Maybe two. It squeaks like hell. It's super rusty, and clearly no one's turned it for a long time. But yeah, it's, and you can lift it up. It smells very musty down there, but otherwise seems okay.
I probably can't smell it.
There's one of the you can't smell those with noses. It would smell very musty. There is a ladder. There's like a metal ladder.
I just gotta wonder, boys. We got that map on the computers in the commons. And this, if anything, feels like a place that is not accessible to anyone common in any way. I just don't understand why this was on our map.
There wasn't anything on the map.
Well, they said there was a bottom floor, and this seems like the only way.
Well, to be fair, John, we weren't allowed in the overseer's room alone or without proper permission or anything. I would assume that if this is there, then my own overseer would probably have some kind of secret hatch or compartment or stairs downwards to some other area, possibly an escape, and that's just smart design.
Right. I'm just saying, just the fact that it was on our public map feels a little hinky, but
they could be.
You'd be surprised at the sort of benign neglect.
Honestly, it's just nitpicking. Let's go see what's up.
I want us to see how far it goes down with my headlamps.
It goes down like a story.
Drop Murphy straight down the hole.
All right. Well, I'll take point. I'll give you the all clear once I evaluate our surroundings down there, and then I jump in.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Good. I thought you were going to take the ladder.
The ladder probably couldn't support the weight.
I don't
exactly.
think so. You kaboom onto the ground. You look around. Again, there's that really low red glow emergency lighting everywhere. The room that you end up in has been split into two. On the right-hand side where you are currently and obviously the ladder turns into, is some kind of garage/workshop. There's all kinds of metallic objects strewn around. As you glance over them, they look, again, this is making sense for different ways, but for the player reference, they all look like little props from the Fly movie. But they're not human-sized. They're maybe animal-sized, but they got that sort of classic round dome pod to them. They have little shutters on them to open
Waze
and
would
close.
not know what the Fly is.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He would know, but I'm just for player reference, just so it's easy to visualize. And Waze, you catch a series of like scaling sizes. There's like a pair of them that are like obviously like beetle sized or something, or caterpillar sized. There's another one that would
Are we
probably fit,
talking
like,
pre-apocalypse or post-apocalypse beetle
Pre-apocalypse.
size?
Pre-apocalypse beetle, like fit in your palm.
Damn, this is such a good vault.
Um,
It's got regular bugs.
Another pair of pods that could probably fit mole rats. Now post-apocalypse mole rats, and so on and so forth. Most of them are in disarray. Like parts are missing. Like the cables that would connect them are not there. Panels have been taken off or whatever. They don't seem to have any kind of source of power or anything like that. They're not hooked to anything. They're just sitting on the ground in this big workshop area. And on the left-hand side, with just a rudimentary like sliding door, looks like kind of what you would imagine like is like a little security office. There's a couple of monitors. The monitors don't seem like they're functioning. And there's another terminal which is humming in low power mode. And there's a weapons rack on one side, unfortunately empty.
Damn it. You can't just give me something, can you, Nathan? I want a fucking weapon.
Two things, Mr. Waze. A, is it safe down there? And B, I don't know how you're going to get back up now.
A, it's clear, and B, let me figure that out.
Excellent, gentlemen. We'll see you in a
After
moment.
you,
And he
Chief.
slides down.
Yeah, John follows.
Oh, that is a little far. Jeez.
After you, Doctor.
Actually, Murph, I'd prefer if you went first. I don't want to get singed.
As you wish.
Thanks.
And Murphy hovers down.
Whenever you finish up your quest, what are you thinking of doing next?
I'm not sure.
Hmm.
I suppose I will figure that out when I find those keys. And you, Doctor, what will you do?
Probably more of the same. That's why I was asking. I could use an assistant, and you at least have the right attitude, good bedside manner.
It would be my absolute pleasure.
Well, assuming we all survive, let's talk about it again.
Let us survive then.
Yes, please.
No promises. All right, I'm down the ladder.
All of you make it down the ladder. Like I said, it plops all of you into this little workshop room. You can see the security room on the left-hand side, which just has a rudimentary sliding door. The sliding mechanism isn't like if any of you approach it, it doesn't slide, but there's a little emergency handle where you could just pull it open if you want to get in there. And then there's another big long hallway. Surprise, surprise. Long enough, in fact, that without light amplification, such as the headlamps, you can't actually make out what's on the other end because the lighting here is dim. For those of you who are able to see better in dark, such as Dr. DF or Aaron Tways, you spy a large room. There is a large mechanism in the center of the room, but you would have to get closer to take a good look.
Noah turns on the light attached to his Pip-Boy to take a look around.
The door above is closed while we're hearing you laugh. Yeah, so like I said, same description as I said before. The workshop has a whole bunch of mechanical things scattered around. Parts and bits are missing, but they all have that same look of, again, the fly pods for player reference. There's also a whole bunch of, well, I should say the remnants of a whole bunch of like big schematics on the wall, like pin-up calendar kind of style. But someone has gone and ripped them all down, or something has ripped them all down. Anyways, you just see like the remnants of the edges of a couple that were attached to the wall. So
I guess we've found the source of whatever was happening above. How does it work?
Did you seriously just ask that to the other people here who also don't know how it works?
Only one way to find out. Start pressing buttons at random. I will stand way over here.
Yeah, obviously you have to retro flop the disco dongle.
Oh,
and
then
that'll.
John, you know how this works? Go, by all means, my
No,
friend.
Noah, why are you so gullible at the stupidest times?
You know more about weird technology than I do. Maybe you saw this at your home.
Actually, you know what? Yeah. Game Master, Mr. Nathaniel, sir.
yes.
Is this at all similar to any of the things I've seen in the bottom of big whatever the name of that place we were at was?
It's amateur hour compared to what you and the rest of your team encountered in that basement.
So I should
but-
understand it easily, right?
But well, it's scrap.
If you
like,
were
it
a quantum
looks like-
physicist.
It looks like it's been built out of spare parts is what I mean, in terms of like it doesn't look nice.
Right.
John
starts walking around and
it really does look, honest to God, to John like something out of the Fly movie. Like it looks like
Right.
those little
Of the
pods
movie,
that Jeff
nice.
Goldblum.
John. Oh, and John loves that movie. It's actually John's favorite movie. He's watched it over 75 times. So he knows where all the controls are, right?
Except these are left-handed
Yeah.
controls.
It's
John-
a sci-fi movie, yeah.
John starts walking around this and like poking and prodding at it. Not any buttons, just like at the actual structure. And he turns to Noah and goes, "Yeah, this looks exactly like the one I saw in my world, except it looks like it's been duct taped together with cardboard and rusted plywood." I don't even know how you get rust on plywood.
And like I said, there's no power sources, and none of these devices are hooked to anything.
And also, there's no power sources, and none of these devices are hooked to anything.
Well, I guess that's more than we knew 2 seconds ago. Thank you, John.
No problem. Again, like I say, just retroflop the disco dongle, and then you definitely got it.
Again, do it yourself, please.
Right.
Show
Well,
me.
I'm gonna go ahead and clear the end of the hallway. See what else we got going on.
All right. Try not to trigger anything.
Does anyone check out the security room?
I'm assuming that would be on my way, unless it's not.
So no, it's not. So the security room is off to the left, and the hallway is straight ahead.
Yeah, John will go check it out.
Okay. Well, I said I'm going down the hallway, so that's what I'm doing.
Okay. All of you can see the security room because it's like it's just got like a glass on it. Like it's just like it's that same sort of plexiglass kind of thing that was on the overseer's office.
You mean transparent aluminum?
That's the ticket, Lottie. And then so like there's nothing hiding in the security room. It's just like it's clearly just part of this room, and they've just put a wall down to section it off. Okay, so I'll start with you, John.
I also wanted to take a look at that, but I'll let John make the first move.
Okay.
You can come with me. Safety in numbers, after all.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Yeah, John and Noah, the two of you working together, open the door easily enough. Aaron starts walking down the hallway. I'll come back to you in a moment. The door slides open with a little bit of a give. Eventually, you heave-ho it open enough that the two of you can scoot inside. You spy the various monitors that have either been smashed or just not working. The empty weapon rack, and like I said, the one terminal that's still humming with a little tiny bit of juice in it. So,
John, do you think my vault did anything like this and we didn't know about it?
I honestly, no, actually, you know what? I'm gonna just go with no. If they did anything like this, you would have known. They may have done something, but it definitely wasn't on the scale of this. If you didn't know about it, probably.
I mean,
It
I
just
guess.
seems like a little too obvious.
I guess that makes sense. I mean, none of us ever really disappeared unless we lost too hard during some training, but it was only for a little while after. But
I
who knows?
mean, I don't know enough about vaults to know whether this is commonplace or not. But did anything about your vault really seem off to you? I guess it wouldn't because you grew up there. That's kind of how they get you.
That is what I was going to say, but it did give me all of the skills I needed to survive in the wasteland, so I can at least thank them for that. I guess you're right, John. I'm not some monster like something we'd seen from up above.
Hey, not for nothing. How was, or not how was, where was your vault? Was it like near, I guess, Calgary or like?
That. Ah, well, that's not important information. Just know I've been traveling here for a couple weeks.
I mean, the fact that you won't tell me
Long before
makes it
that.
feel kind of important. But if you don't want to tell me, that's fine too.
I don't want to go back. I can't
But
go back.
okay. I'm not ever said anything about going back. It's not important. If you don't want to tell me, it's fine. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's something good in the security room, like a cool gun or like
After Noah had trailed off there, he kind of stared into the distance, and you can kind of see the weight of what he had said lay across his face, that he could not go back. And after a long moment out, he snaps back in when you say there could be a new gun, and kind of shakes himself off and goes, yes,
Yeah.
more armaments would probably be great in a situation like this where we don't know what's below us.
Yeah.
Or further in. Good idea, John.
Yeah, like a cool gun or not something that'll try to kill us, hopefully.
We'll see. What's here?
Oh, I already. Sorry, I thought you were already in the room. I described it. So after a bit of a heave ho, you get the sliding door open. Like I said, there's a bunch of monitors that are either been damaged or just not working. And there's an empty weapons rack and a single terminal that's humming in low power mode.
Nope. Noah, I checked behind all of these monitors and also inside them, not the one that works, but the other ones. There are no cool guns in here. This is a bad room.
There's not even a monitor gun.
I don't know what that would look like. Well, it would look like a monitor.
It would be
Anyways,
like
I
a
don't know
trap
how
where
you're.
somebody would set it up and you'd sit down
Forget
and use
it.
a computer
Forget
and
it.
bang.
Forget it. I don't know about your weird computers here, either with a gun or without. Could you see if there's anything written on that?
Yes, of course I can. This should be child's play to get in here. And he sits down and hopefully it's child's play to get in here.
He fails. He failed this roll.
Science, please.
Fuck.
Roll dice in a child's game for child's play. Let's go.
That is a child's name.
Okay.
Maybe he calls in DS to help.
Now he's hoping there really isn't a monitor gun.
Yeah,
So
I'm very
success
much
is the
hoping
monitor.
there's not a
The
monitor.
monitor gun shoots your head off. No, I was kidding.
You rolled a
Nice,
so
6.
close.
No.
John, would you like to
Too
assist?
close.
John, what
we
did you
don't-
say? I had to re-flop the navigator. What?
Yeah, retro flop the disco dongles. Honestly, that was a joke. I don't know how you weird 1960s, but also somehow 2070s computers work. If you want help with that, you should really call DF because I cannot.
Is this outdated? I guess it's outdated technology.
The
to
keyboard,
everybody.
the keyboard's in Dvorak. I only know QWERTY.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
All right,
Doctor,
yeah.
I do believe this is more than child's play. I need your
right.
assistance.
Very well, children. And Dieth hobbles his way down the hallway towards the room.
Nope. No, that's the security office right next to
Yeah,
it.
towards the security office.
Yeah. So
Because he did not come in. He stayed at the stairs where we had come down. Yeah, he waits for other people to clear the places out.
Right.
Yeah, because I've gone down the hallway, so there really isn't a hallway to the office.
You go ahead and trip all the traps, and then I'll come along later. It's fine. I'll patch you up.
Not a bad play.
All right. Anyways, the door is already open. Can you roll science for me, please?
All right. Dieth comes in, takes a look. Oh, this is a really old model.
So it's even more outdated
10.
than I expected.
Print go to 20. No, hold on here.
And excellent. 2 successes. And meanwhile, Errant, if you could roll me repair, please. The trap on the door then triggers for every third person that enters.
Be careful.
Just my
you said repair?
Please.
Okay.
See, Doctor, all you had to do was flip-flop the dongulator, as John said.
Actually, I had to retroflop the disco dongle. Good call, John.
All right, so yes, you find 2 text logs on this terminal. This is the first.
Talk to you later, alligator. Oh no.
Here. I cleared that up for you, John. Why don't you read that out for us?
No.
Yeah, no problem. For those who still think the Gatling turrets are overkill, John runs out of the room and screams down the hallway, "Hey, Aaron, come back, there's Gatling turrets!"
And this is why I let other people go first.
I might remind you about what happened when Dr. Miller brought back Big Bertha.
That is legitimately not a joke, John.
This.
John is truly screaming that to Aaron.
Yep, that's fine.
Yep.
I do want a clean take on the log, though.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So John runs out and starts screaming that, and I guess Noah starts from the top and reads the log.
Yeah.
For those who still think the Gatling turrets are overkill, I might remind you about what happened when Dr. Miller brought back Big Bertha. I don't know how many times I have to say this, but please do not bring back carnivorous animals from excursions, no matter how cute they look while sleeping. Nice. Gentlemen, I will tell you if this was a Yao Guai in containment somewhere in this vault at one point. They do not look cute when they are sleeping. They look just as murderous and ready to murder you more.
I'm guessing this might have been from some alternate Earth. Apparently they were sending excursions out, and some of them did come back with souvenirs.
Yeah. Okay, so after that log is read, Aaron, you have heard John call out, "Aaron, come back, there's Gatling turrets."
Cool. I want them.
So you hear what he said. You're about halfway down the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And your repair roll, as you turn around, probably to acknowledge if you heard him or whatever. The only thing I was going to say about the hallway was that you notice a couple of places, and the only reason you notice it really is because all the other hallways haven't had this, but there's aspects of the hallway that are patchwork. Parts of the metallic hallway that are slightly darker than the rest of the wall. So it'll be like whitish, grayish, and then there'll just be a large swath that's sort of like darker gray. And then it'll go back to the right color scheme. And every so often along the hallway, it's like that.
So I need to ask for clarification. Does it look like it's purposely set up in a pattern so that, every so often one of these patches looks like the size of a Gatling gun type of idea? Or is this more so trying to patch up damage? Because I would know kind of what that looks like.
Yeah. You got 1 success, so my answer will be yes.
Patching up damage with a Gatling turret. There you go. And you can have the best of every world.
The Gatling turret easily could just be a weapon you can hold
Yeah.
yourself.
They're Gatling lasers. They're welding the wall back together.
You're calling whether to stay put, keep going, and turn around.
And knowing what I have in store for me and knowing what my armor can hold up to, I go more cautiously down the hallway because if anybody is going to trigger this shit, it's going to be me.
Right. Maybe Aaron,
on-
just wait a second, Aaron. Maybe hopefully we can find like something in the security room that can like shut them off. But like just wait for 1 second. I'll let you know when you can keep going if we can't figure it out. Is that cool?
You got 1 minute.
All right. John runs back to the security room. Hey, can we find anything that maybe shuts off the Gatling turrets? Because Aaron's gonna just walk down that hallway.
That boy, incorrigible.
Nothing
I'm quite old, actually, but I guess you
You're
are
all
older
kids
than
to me.
Yeah. While they're doing that, can I take a closer look at this kind of patchwork to see if I can understand it a bit better?
Yeah, you can roll me science.
Science!
Hmm?
He welded me with science.
Success. The darker patches look like they were put in later. And they look nicer than some of the other metallurgy work you've seen other places.
Are they fused like
there's no
that to that, or are they on top?
No, they're like lattice works. Like there's no gaps in between them or anything like that. It's still flush with the walls.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So either
like
either it's nothing or they installed these really well.
So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Meanwhile, for those of you still in the security room, this is the second log that you find.
As well, there's another log here. Riots have broken out as anticipated. Everyone wants out. Not just out of the vault, but out there. We've tried to explain there isn't that kind of energy. The amount of juice needed for just one jump is incalculable, frankly. Dr. Bauer has established what he calls the fence. As it's been explained to me, it uses microscopic scanners that detect biosigns and keep non-registered material, mechanical and organic, out of the teleporter bay. Only the highest level science team can pass safely. Now, I have heard one of the white coats mention that the fence is only synced to the molecular integrity of this quantum plane, whatever the hell that means. He says it could allow things from outside through the gate, but what are the odds of that? You know, those are famous last words. Usually. Even I understand this.
John is just standing in the door with his mouth open.
Given how empty this vault is. John, I think that sounds like a cue, if ever I heard one.
Yeah, it really does. Man, that sucks. I don't want, I don't know you guys very well, but you've been very kind to me in this terrible fucking apocalypse. I kind of hate the idea of me just leaving you guys here. I know you're used to it and all, but it just feels like the worst. Well, not the worst ending. The worst is no one goes home or to where I'm from, but like,
John, we all had things that we were looking for. You were looking for a way home. You should take it if you can.
Oh, wait, actually, and you're right, I should. But before we finish this conversation, seriously, those Gatling turrets, because Errant Ways is just going to walk into them.
Right. Let me see if there's anything here.
Beep, boop, 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 beep.
Can I find anything related to the Gatling turrets whatsoever in the security terminal?
Or other defenses that can be turned off.
How about power into this area?
You get the sense that all those functionalities might have existed at some point, but they've either been stolen, broken, or just aren't working anymore.
How about not the intended usage of this device or the power that is connected to? Is there some way that I could rig something
I see.
Like the
You
old
have-
explosive maintenance, if it really came to that.
I mean, you could blow this terminal, but you have no idea what kind of reaction that would have.
Plug
Hmm.
Murphy into it.
I am compatible.
Well, that's fair, but if it doesn't have access to these turrets, it's not going to do us any good. Ways, if you do want to keep going down that hallway, be careful. It doesn't look like there's anything we can do from this side. I'm guessing they don't want anybody tampering with their safeguards.
Got it.
John moves out into the hallway and prepares to. He pulls out his hunting rifle, and if any turrets pop out of the wall, he's preparing to shoot them.
Okay.
Dieth would like to strongly advise John against that. Just if he has a moment to do so before the laser turrets pop out.
Wait, jumps.
Okay, I'll assume that that's a yes. John, I know you never miss, but laser-guided turrets don't miss too often either. Maybe
Right.
wait for them to pop out and then take your line of sight on them.
Right, but they're gonna shoot him, not me.
They'll probably have plenty of bullets to spare, and they'll bounce.
All right, John tucks himself back in the room for now.
While all of that is being contemplated, I want to try and punch a hole into one of the corners of the patchwork so I can try and rip it out.
There's no way you could attack this wall without risking the vault collapsing.
Just by punching it?
Damage this superstructure is pretty serious.
It
in
is
terms.
supporting 3 levels above us, and we're 4 levels
and
down
tons
underground.
and tons of dirt.
Well, it
Yeah.
does look like they had to patch it in later on.
But
That's
it's expert work. Even I like you can spot that.
You can do it.
you
Okay.
It
can
might
go
kill
for it.
you.
Being an
But-
expert from the Brotherhood, you realize craftsmanship when you see it.
Absolutely.
Like, this
But-
is a weight-bearing material right here.
For all intents and purposes, whether it's housing a turret or not, it is now part of the wall, and you have no idea what punching it would do. So, take that as you will.
What about kicking it?
Oh, that's fine. You can kick it.
I will say though, Aaron, as you get to the other side of the hallway, you can now see into another room. There is there's no door separating it. There's just an empty doorway. I'm gonna make this very clear. Open empty doorway. And you can see right in the center of the room. It's just a big raised dais. Like a platform a preacher would be on, but it's round, it's metallic, and it's circular. It's a big circle, and then etched into the metal are 4 smaller circles, sort of forming like a symmetrical pattern with them.
Okay.
You get the gist that there's probably more in the room, but everything else seems to be tucked hard left and right.
Okay. Well, I don't go through the doorway.
Okay.
And I kind of shout back. So, aside from Gatling turrets, is there anything else I need to watch out for?
I mean, probably weird abominations like we saw before, but no guarantee one way or the other.
What are you seeing?
Well, the hallway is clear, so why don't you all come up here and then you can see it for yourself.
God, I'm hating this more and more every minute. I
Yeah,
guess we're coming.
Yeah, I trust Aaron. I walk up the hallway.
Yes, we can
They all
trust
die.
him. We can
Fair
trust
enough,
him.
I
That doesn't
suppose.
mean we can trust this vault.
Yes, unfortunately, the hallway was waiting exactly for people who were 4,000 pounds, so everyone else dies. No, I'm kidding.
Damn it.
If you're 300 or 3,999 pounds and lighter, sorry, no can do.
So Noah, sorry.
A
So
question,
Noah,
a
yes.
question before we do. Waze, how was your radiation detecting equipment working while you were going through there? Will we die or will we be safe?
Good question.
I mean, there's no more radiation in this hallway than there has been in the whole vault. I think I described it as like there's
Very
radiation
low
in this area.
radiation poison.
There's radiation here, but you guys would have to like live here for a while before it really bothered anybody. So.
Speaking of which, that reminds me,
Mhm.
has my little cesium ingot been giving me a sufficient healthy glow to gain back a little HP?
Yeah,
Since I
sure.
took some damage running through the fire.
Oh, that is true. Let's see. Let me
You just
peek at
absorb
your sheet.
radiation. That's smart.
Yep. Yeah, his good luck charms radiated.
Oh, so you have two superpowers, looking ugly and absorbing radiation.
There you go.
It's dying very slowly. Thank you, sir.
Oh, okay.
Just the one.
We had to give it a better spin, so people
At
don't
least
like
he's not-
dying very slowly as a superpower.
At least it's not fused to a tree yet.
Mm.
It wasn't teleported.
Yet.
Cat.
Yeah, you can
Right.
take two back.
Neat. Done.
Okay. And so just I want to confirm. So I've heard from Noah and John. Sounds like they're coming down the hallway. Murphy and DS, are you as well? Where are the
Yep.
two of you?
Yep, I hobble my way down after them as well.
Okay. And Murphy?
As do I, sir.
All right. So all of you come down the hallway following Errant, coming to the end of the hallway, and we're going to stop here. We're going to pause here, I should say, anyways, for a break. It is
Session, guys. Good session.
Yeah, good session. Yay!
Level.
That is- It is 9:01. I will see everybody back here around 9:11.
All right. See you then.
Whoop,
See you
whoop.
soon.
The tension.
And we're back.
Welcome, Bob, to the show.
You created this. There is no escape.
Bob has joined us for our sixth and final session. We'll hear from him
It's
very shortly.
Bob time.
In the meantime, our 5 characters have now convened in this long hallway. This patchwork hallway, we'll refer to it as, just to make it clear where we all are. Because there's been lots of
At
hallways in
the
this
end
in
of the
this- in this
patchwork
vault.
hallway.
So all of you have reached or slightly behind, or significantly behind, maybe, where Errant Ways is. And you can all see the same pad in the room with the etched circles. It is dimly lit like every other room. There is indication that there are further things sharp left and right, but you can't see them from this doorway.
I guess we'll have to go sharp left or right. Gentlemen, which way would you like to go first?
Well,
I'm gonna wait here while Aaron does it.
yeah, I haven't gone through into the room yet.
So you mentioned that we're seeing the circle outlined areas there. Are we at a juncture where we could see something beyond it? You said, there's shoved off, sharp left, sharp right, but do we have an idea of how much space there is off to those
Oh.
directions? Do we see something like casting shadows down the hallway? Is there any intimation as to what awaits us around the corner besides Gatling laces and Big Berthas?
The room that this pad is in is not very large. It's like 1/3 the size of the workshop that you jumped down into from the ladder.
Mhm.
The lights are like red and dim, so there isn't a lot of shadows being cast. You do, for those of you who look the right way, do look like there's a shadow casting from the sharp left, like there's something up against the wall on that side. And maybe there's some other objects up against the wall, but straight across, like to the wall opposite you, it's just this pad. If there's a control mechanism, it's not next to the pad because it's not visible from this hallway. It
So,
must be in the room off to one side.
out of character question, has anybody mentioned this fence thing to Aaron? Because he wasn't in the room when you guys read that.
It's
true.
The
So-
fence
I don't
affects
know.
things
So
that
that-
are not in this
so-
quantum realm, so we're fine. John's the one that's not.
Or
No,
alternatively,
the way
Yeah,
I
it's
read
supposed
it
to
is
stop us from going through, and something
Stop
that's maybe
us
out
and
of sync
allows
with this
him.
reality might
I thought
be allowed to
they
go
were-
through it.
So
They were talking about what people were leaving, not just the vault, but
No.
going otherwhere.
That they
Yeah,
wanted to
places.
leave.
the
Yeah, they wanted to leave, so they
fencing
set up a fence to stop them from
to
trying to
prevent them.
swarm
Yeah.
the pads to escape because there just wasn't the energy for it.
So unless somebody tells me
Right.
otherwise, Aaron is going to walk
No,
into
yeah.
the room.
Nobody
knowing-
mentioned it.
Okay, that didn't
Okay.
affect
Nope.
all of us.
We were more worried about the Gatling lasers than
Okay,
the quantum
okay.
fence.
Yep, hasn't brought up.
I'm just covering that. So
Understandable, yeah.
without anything else being prompted other than the Gatling lasers.
Well,
All right. Well, here we go.
thankfully this log makes it seem non-fatal because no one's going to tell you. We were more worried about the lasers
Yeah.
or
Yep,
guns.
that was it.
So
just
so
like-
I.
The lasers erased all ideas from our
Okay.
minds.
Well,
that's
you know what?
fine.
I'm about to die, so
Yep.
nice knowing you guys. I'm going to walk in the room.
Hopefully non-fatal.
Can you describe to me how you enter the room? I know that's a weird question,
Shit.
but what is your stance when you enter the room? Do you reach out an arm? Do you go heel first with your legs? Do you just move forward?
I knew this was going to happen.
Oh.
I knew you were going to ask this question, and I was
Oh
really
my
hoping
God.
you weren't going to ask this question.
Mm.
Because I know what's going to happen.
No, you don't.
Which part of you is about to get embedded in the wall?
Which part of me is about to get disintegrated from the molecular level on up? Yeah. Nathan's laughing because he knows it's right, but I can't.
We'll
I
see.
can't.
You have no
I
idea
can't.
until
I
you
can't
do
make this. I can't make this choice as a player because I
Yeah,
don't.
you
I
can't.
don't know
The
as
character doesn't
Aaron
know.
weighs.
No.
That's right.
Fuck.
it. He walks
We
through
roll
Facebook.
like
Okay,
lasers.
Actually, you know what, Nathaniel? Can I roll a flat intelligence roll to see if I remember that before he walks in?
No.
No.
Okay, too late.
No.
Gotcha.
No. It's too late.
Face check it.
What-
Face check the door.
The prompt asking, okay, is there anything else I need to worry about other than the lasers? That was the prompt for somebody to tell me.
Yep.
Just go for it.
Okay, so how would he normally walk? Sorry, I need to figure this out. Shit, am I losing an arm or a leg? Damn it.
So when Waze walks, he always leads with his baby toe and only exposes the smallest part of his body to any potential laser grids, let's say, or teleportation accidents.
He always walks with one hand straight out like this.
It's funny because he's never mentioned it before. He's actually got customized feet that are like 2 feet
Okay.
long.
I wonder with the I'm just trying to think. Okay, so I know the threat of the Gatling guns. Now, would I know enough about my armor that the armor would be able to soak the damage of the Gatling guns, or would I have to be more cautious? This is not. This is just based off of previous interactions with people with Gatling guns. Oh, you're.
Nathaniel, you're muted or something.
Oh, sorry. Laser Gatlings in particular,
Mhm.
you could withstand for a time.
For a time. Okay, so
One dude who wasn't very good firing at you, no problem. A whole bunch of dudes with concentrated fire who knew where to shoot at you, big problem. You could
okay.
withstand for a while.
All right. So knowing that and knowing that I'm a melee guy, I'm wondering if you'll kind of work with my train of thought here. Knowing that there's probably multiple Gatling guns, not a giant fence that'll disintegrate me. I want to do a test.
Okay.
Hey, boss, you got some spare caps, right?
Not a lot. You can tell he's lying by the tone of his voice.
Just give me 5.
Yeah, what's the matter, Noah? You don't remember about those 100 caps, the counterfeit ones that I gave you and told you I gave you that were counterfeit?
Oh yeah, John, you said you were holding on to those for me still. Why don't you give the man 5 caps?
I gave him 100 counterfeit caps.
I don't need that many. Look, if there's Gatling guns and if they're still active, we need to know where they are because I'm not seeing anything. So with that, I take the caps and chuck them into the room.
Okay, the caps hit the doorway and go, and they fall to the ground scorched.
Oh, that wasn't that bad.
They do not pass through the threshold.
Jesus,
And
Murphy,
it
those
was
are the
completely
quickest lasers.
invisible.
Those
Even
lasers
when the
are so
caps
fast.
hit the whatever it was, did it briefly outline them in any way or show the dimensions of what it was they had hit? Or was it just as though they had hit a wall and then fell down?
Yeah, exactly. The
The
ladder.
ladder? Okay.
Yeah, it hit on a visible wall and went, and now they're just like black charred.
Okay, so
I guess that would be the fence.
You may be able to get
Oh,
through if you keep moving.
um,
Yeah. Hey, Aaron,
Fence?
there's yeah, no. No, tell him about the fence. John just kind of looks away. He checks behind us to make sure no one's creeping up.
You know,
You know, if I was
when
fucking stupid, I would have walked in there.
I will be honest, I assumed it was for something else. There is a fence to make sure that non-designated people can't go through. And
I
I
figured
don't
by
know,
the time you made it to the end of the hallway, it should have been before then. I thought maybe
don't
it was off.
know why I assumed we would be fine.
Yeah, boys, all clear back here. We're all good.
Well,
Anyways, good thinking on not just
Does
stepping
it-
in like an idiot.
I was worried about the Gatling guns, not the fucking electrical bullshit.
Well, in our defense, it didn't mention it was an electrical fucking bullshit. It just said there was a fence.
So
we had
does
no
it
idea what
just
it meant.
does it just ignore inanimate objects? If we walk in, is that fine? What
It's
are we
supposed
dealing
to-
with here?
It's supposed to block off all non-designated, I guess, organisms, objects, people, whatever's not registered for it.
Although, if I recall, there was a
I'm not a
concern from
scientist.
some of their scientists that something that wasn't aligned with our reality could still slip through.
Oh. Then that is the opposite of what I was thinking. John, you might be able to just do it.
You got anything on you, John, that came from your world?
Yeah, John throws out like a couple quarters and tries to throw them through.
Are you freaking kidding me? That's
You're
like-
muted again, Nathan.
Because I'm eating, because I'm trying to be polite. And the
Oh,
quarters
that's
are
your
with you
problem.
when you, and the quarters were with you when you got here.
Yeah,
John?
yeah, they
We don't have-
were.
we don't have
It's
quarters.
got
we
bus
have-
fare.
Okay,
Yeah.
the quarters sail through.
Thank God those went through because I'm gonna need those when I get back.
What the hell
Well-
are those?
You
They're
might
like
not-
they're like 25 caps.
Back in the day, they used to make currency.
Interesting. Well, if that's currency, you may not need it anymore once you get back with whatever this teleportation.
No,
Is-
I'm gonna because like the way I convince my friends to do things for me is to buy them slices of pizza, and this is basically kind of the
Classic.
whole.
Oh, so we both bribe people to get what we want. Interesting. I do
Okay.
like you more and more every minute, John.
Look, if my rudimentary understanding of this fence thing is anything based on what you guys are explaining, John, if you go in there, see if you can deactivate it somehow.
Yeah, John walks into the room, provided he can, I guess.
Keep an eye out for Gatling
Wait, wait,
guns.
wait,
You don't
wait.
have a giant thing of armor.
Before John walks through the room, he takes off anything that he acquired in the wasteland.
Good call.
Are you butt naked now?
He goes to put his foot through and goes, wait.
Yeah,
So-
all of his guns, like
Yeah.
everything he acquired in the wasteland, he takes off beforehand.
And like puts in the hallway or whatever.
You know what would have been cool though if you just
Yeah.
walked in it and as you pass the threshold, all your stuff just disintegrated, so you're just naked on the other side.
Just
just-
walks
yeah,
through.
he
You see a couple more coins fall on the ground beside him.
He leaves his satchels and all his guns on that side of the wall
Yeah. Okay.
and his weapons. His
The
the-
right
smart
side
man.
wall.
He's
Uh-huh.
he's still wearing like the clothing from when he came over. He takes off a couple of extra layers of like Radstag rags or whatever, but
Right.
he's still got like a hoodie and jeans and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Okay. Smart call. So nothing disintegrates as you walk through the threshold.
Noah
And you
takes
are
John's
now
shotgun.
And now are you in and runs away? Now you are in the room. So like I said, the pad is right in front of you. The light is very dim in here. And on your right, you can see what looks like a big a power junction thing. Like it's like one of those like the closest facility that John would recognize is like a big power box outside of like an industrial warehouse.
Right. Yeah.
It's like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
but it's like that. It's like the metal panel.
Like a fuse
uh,
box almost.
Yeah, like a fuse box, but way more heavy duty.
Yeah. Industrialized. Gotcha.
Duty.
Uh-huh. On your left hand side, and mentioned already in DS asking about shadows, you can see there is a console. It's far enough away from the doorway that you can't like be at the console and be near the doorway. It's like
Right.
4 foot into the room.
Okay.
It glows with the same sort of low power mode lighting that the other
Gotcha.
terminals you've passed have had.
John moves up to the console and examines it, sees if it's open or.
Unlike the other ones, which were just sitting there, this one says awaiting input.
Mm-hmm.
When you're seeing it there, John, you describe it to me. I might be able to walk you through it.
John walks back to the fence and goes, "Yeah, there's a terminal there that says it says awaiting input." So I put like :/ like deactivate fence or something to that effect.
Well, not necessarily. What's the rest of the unit look like? Is it got a keyboard, a screen? We're talking green, orange plastic here.
Definitely
heavy duty.
There was
a lot of
definitely
wires running into it.
Is there anything to retroflop?
There was definitely a keyboard and a screen. I'll be back in a second. I walk back over to the terminal. I just want to take full stock. The cables that are going into it, what are they attached to?
They're attached to, well, this terminal is like sitting on top of a big metal box.
Right.
So like it's not on a desk. Like they put out like a big.
The terminal's on top of the fuse
integrated
box.
into it. So
big heavy duty terminal sitting on top of this huge metal box.
It's not on top of the fuse box. They're on opposite sides of the room.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the terminal is just integrated into like a metal. I don't know how to describe it. Like just like a surface. Like
just like a riser that
into
comes
the wall
out of the floor or the wall.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, sort of a pedestal.
And the cables are all, I assume, like industrial, like super thick. They're not even the cable. They're like the casing for the cable, and the cables are inside, I imagine.
Yeah,
that kind
exactly.
of
thing. Like
metal casing.
Okay. Yeah, I go back to the wall. I say, yeah, it definitely looks like some sort of industrial computer. The fixture's built into the floor. It's all metal. The cables are all heavy duty.
Interesting. We talking about? And Dieth holds up his fingers until you tell him, we've reached the appropriate width.
No, a bit back, about 2 before that.
That is pretty seriously heavy duty.
But yeah, you're about there. It's a big deal.
I could be carrying a lot of current. And you said there was a fuse box on the other side, or something that looked like one.
So, yeah, it's bigger than a fuse, like nothing like I've ever seen in my rental properties, but like this thing definitely.
Fuse box, does it look like it has tubes that can come in and out, or switches?
If I were to open the, this is to Nathaniel. If I were to move over to the quote unquote fuse box, can I open like a front panel on it and see what's inside?
There's like somebody's like put like a padlock kind of thing over one side. You'd have to. Well, it would be hard. You could pull it open. It would be tough, but you can pull it open.
So I walk back. Yeah, I could. It looks like a fuse box. It is locked shut. I could feasibly open it, but I might cause some damage.
Probably
it definitely
best
wouldn't
not
be
to.
easy. Yeah,
you could throw it open.
Those wires.
So,
Hmm.
I
why
mean,
don't you go over to the terminal then, and we can start trying some of the usual suspects
right.
command wise.
I walk over to the terminal and I type /help.
The screen's text changes from green to red.
Oh,
Authorized use of the teleporter terminal detected. Security program initiate. Program 1. Full exterminate. The doors that you did not know were in the long hallway. Slide close on both ends.
I have a feeling that was the wrong command, John.
I type /help.
The panels on the walls of the hallway now as the doors slide and lock close, open up. And to the four of you's horror, realize that the turrets weren't in the black patchwork parts of the wall, which are few and far between. Those were the regular parts of the wall. The lighter gray aspects were the tops of the turrets. And the hallway is flooded as a series of guns and turrets pop out from every direction and start sweeping the room with their little laser sights until they arrive at 4 suspicious-looking characters.
So yes, that was definitely the wrong command.
The security system doesn't make any sense.
However,
I'm already okay.
However, you do also notice that behind you, the pad starts humming. And you can see that amongst a whole bunch of gobbledygook of ones and zeros and command line errors, one of the lines that flashes by you does say, teleporter ready.
I would like to see if... okay, John is not good with computers. He's not smart at all. He wants to, really dig deep and see if he can find a way to disable this fence so they can get through. And even if it just means that they're not in a hallway with lasers.
Okay. I want you to make a survival check, and then I will put everyone in initiative order after that.
oh no!
If everyone could roll initiative, I would really appreciate it.
Shoot the turret, boys.
Boys.
The turrets, many,
Sorry.
of which there are the many.
Them roll initiative. I quickly want to check something in the
Oh, yeah,
book,
there we go. I guess I still have it from last time.
Hey, Nathaniel.
but I will roll that check
You're
soon.
putting a lot of terrible vault-themed pressure onto my boy here. Can I proc my vault experience trait?
Please remind me what that does.
If you
it's the DM
introduce
you sent me?
complication, yeah.
Okay.
If you allow so, I can regain a luck point. But
yeah, sure. You were a bit traumatized going into the overseer office. You can have a luck point back if you've spent one.
I like the idea of the turrets opening up, because that would have been one of the last things that Noah had seen as he was leaving the vault as well.
Yes.
Nathaniel,
Mm-hmm.
there is a luck ability called Luck of the Draw. You may spend a luck point to introduce a helpful fact or detail about the situation you're in. Is there any way I could spend 4 luck points to find anything that would help me shut down the security or the fence?
Yes. So I will accept those 4 luck points. And when it comes to your action in the turn order, I will describe what happens.
Okay. Do you still want me to roll survival?
No, I do not need. If you're going to spend the luck points instead, I will
spend all my luck points to try and figure this shit out.
Okay. For dramatic emphasis, I'm going to have you go last in the turn order for this round, John. So I'm going to start with Noah. We'll go to Nick, and then we'll go to Murphy. So, Noah.
Okay. This is
Alright, I just realized I forgot to roll initiative there.
kind of
Orange.
fucked. Can I have no idea what I want to do here.
The fur.
I will I will defer to I'll defer to Waze, or I'll defer at least at some point and just say, Waze, do something about this, and back
Well,
up
you
into
can't-
a corner
yeah,
like a
you
like
don't-
a
Yeah. Yeah.
like a
Well,
toothless
there's no
stone.
corner. You're in a long hallway, but I go up against something, I guess.
How many Gatling guns are there?
Dozens.
Yep.
Are they small or
Gets
big?
low and pulls his gun out, but that's it.
They're not huge. They're long and slender. Obviously, they need to fit into a wall. So they're pop-out turrets. But they, like I said, have laser targeters on them. And all of the fiends are now pointing it towards the 4 organics detected in the hallway. There was like a sensation of like all of the lasers flying around the room looking for something, and now they're all like. So you know those action movies where they have like the 20 snipers on the rooftop and they're all pointing at one head? That's kind of the
Okay.
scene.
Cool.
All right, Noah's
Cool.
deferring. Dr. DF.
Absolute ton of turrets. Basically no cover. No way to leave the hallway, which has turned into a kill zone. Dieth takes a smart step such that he has placed the bulk of ways between him and as many turrets as he possibly can.
Yeah.
And he looks into his belt of gear and chems to see, is there anything?
Right.
A submachine gun is
Lasers be-
not going to do the trick.
Lasers be gone. Luckily, I got all these canisters of lasers be gone.
I
Yeah,
knew
it's like
that they would
poopy
come
gun.
handy eventually.
So, DS, can you roll survival for me, please?
I can.
To see how well you hide behind Aaron Wings. 1 success. Okay, I will note that. All right. Very good. Over to Murphy. Oh no, actually, I'm going to go back to Noah and ask you if you would like to act now or continue to defer.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Out of
Like out of
this-
character?
No, this would be in character, but sort of like as
sure.
we started and the Gatling guns kind of popped out.
Sure, you can have like a sentence.
Get behind me and move with me. We're gonna take these shits out.
Sounds good to me. Murphy, see if you can make a smoke screen. And Noah gets behind Waze.
Okay, can you roll survival?
Sure. Let's see how well this goes. Ooh, this is gonna be not the best roll.
Oh well. Okay. Over to you, Murphy.
I don't have anything that can cause a smoke screen.
Fire creates smoke.
That is true.
Fire would also block our heat signatures.
That is true.
That's interesting.
Murphy, yes.
This is your
Murphy-
inner robot speaking. Beep boop.
Beep boop indeed.
11100100001.
Murphy attempts to use the heat from his flamer to distract the security system, moving in the opposite direction that Noah, the doctor, and Errant Ways are all moving.
Interesting. Can you roll? Let's get creative here.
Yeah, do it.
Can I do my action in conjunction with this?
They all are in
That's-
conjunction.
That is the idea.
Everything's happening simultaneously. So
Okay.
yeah. So I'm gonna let this play out. Whichever is higher, Christian, between big guns or science. You can roll one of those two.
Can he roll perception?
Big guns or science?
Mhm.
Let's do science.
You can sub. Oh, that works. Okay.
One success. Okay. The smoke starts to build. You don't know how successful this will be in the 5 seconds that this round represents, but it's starting. It's starting. It's coming to you probably as a small floating orb.
3 rounds from now, this is going to be a sick move.
I have an idea.
Okay, and
What's your idea?
and then Errant, please.
All right, good thinking. Murph, this is what we're going to do. You're going to come along with me over my head, firing that flamer. I'm going to run forward and knock out these turrets one by one. Murph, you good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what I want to try and do is basically use him as like a head mount type of idea. To have the flamer to kind of block my movement upwards towards the turrets, and then basically just clothesline them if I can, going along the way. I'm in a giant suit with 4,500 pounds of momentum behind me. If I start going, I'll keep going.
Yeah. Sure. You're a smart dude. It might work. You might also be eviscerated, but it's worth a shot, right?
I have. That's fine. I have a lot of squishy guys behind me.
Mm-hmm.
One way or the other, I got to do this.
You don't have a camera on?
No. My camera doesn't work.
And somehow there's random people in the...
Yeah.
You are unmuted, however.
Yeah, mute, please.
Hi, Bob.
Hello.
Where'd those voices come
Am I
from?
unmuted? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, please mute.
There you go.
Hello. Please mute. Okay. Okay. Please roll unarmed.
Unarmed. Don't fail me now.
He's here. He's gonna say.
Oh, are we? What? How many action points are we at? 3?
Yeah.
I have 4 on mine.
I got
4.
You have 4 because I have 3.
I'm sitting at 4. Anybody else confirm, deny?
Let me check.
Well, that's 2 to 1 right now. So
well, mine's right out because I'm sitting at 6. So
Okay, let's just go with 4 because
Consensus is 4
Okay.
so far.
okay. I'm going to use a point to purchase an extra D20.
Okay.
So I need to roll 3
Noted.
additional dice. 1. Oh, come on!
Oh
Yeah,
no!
you know what?
There's
That's
that
so
extra.
Seriously?
That
3
extra die.
successes complication. All right.
Fuck.
All right. I'll come back to that. John, you have spent 4 luck points in an attempt to very, very quickly, in the span of 5 or 6 seconds, try to figure out how to get everyone out of that hallway of death, which we are now going to dub. I will tell you 2 things. Number 1, you can't see what's happening in the hallway, but you can very faintly hear through the blast doors some of what Aaron said. You can hear the laser starting to power up. You can hear Murphy setting off his flamethrower. Maybe they have a plan. Maybe they'll survive.
not good enough.
Maybe they won't.
Not good enough.
Here's the other thing I'll tell you. There's a very, very, there's a definitive way that you can shut everything down here, and that lies with the power box. There's a very specific cable. There's a very specific connection that you could fry. You know, something metal, your fist. You could toss at it and take it out. But
His fist?
So, not his
You
fist.
mean, you mean like he
his
could
foot.
he could pull the
be-
cable out of the box kind of thing,
Yeah, exactly.
or tear it with something?
He could throw the power out.
It'll hurt like shit. It'll hurt like shit to do that because you're risking electrocution. You could absolutely.
Put your shoes on your
Because you spent
hands.
4 luck points, you could absolutely be assured that she would shut down every security process in this facility by doing that. You are also 100% certain that will deactivate the teleporter.
Okay. Just spitballing here. Is there anything to the idea John thinks, and he's not, with the notion he's not looking to cut and run. John knows this teleporter takes an immense amount of power. Is there any chance that by using the teleporter, he uses enough power that he shuts off the security system?
That is something you don't know. Not in the 5 seconds you've had to think of this plan.
One way to find out.
Could be the only one you get, too.
Maybe that shuts off the power, but you'll have no way of knowing. For all you know, they run on completely different power junction, like on completely different power lines. But one quick strike of the fuse box would shut everything down.
John starts putting his elbow through the fuse box. He's throwing elbows like crazy.
All right,
He
can you
doesn't
repeat
care.
that?
John starts putting his elbows through the fuse box. He's throwing the craziest, most frenzied elbows. Like if he breaks his elbow, that's fine. He wants to shut this down.
Can you roll 1d20 for me, please?
Ooh.
Just a straight d20.
10.
10. Okay, good. Wasn't
Nice.
a 1. All right. I want you to reduce your HP by half, but you do it.
Okay.
The emergency lighting goes out. The turrets fall dead. The terminals fall dead. The lights on the pad fall dead. The doors start to open it and stop.
Should I round up or down?
So, round up.
Does this so everything's powered down. Are we out of combat initiative then?
Yes.
John walks out and grabs one of the counterfeit bottle caps from his pack and tries to throw it into the teleporter room just to make sure the fence is also down.
The fence is down.
Okay. John just slumps against the wall and is silent.
John, you did it! I can't believe it!
Halfway down the hallway with Murphy, I stop. Oh, and I look back. Huh.
Wait,
Guess
you
he
did
got
an,
the power.
you did
All
an
of
excellent job at defending us.
And then
All
I
the
just
power in this area has gone out, though.
then I just rip off another Gatling gun.
John, Dieth rather looks back through the bio screen and he gingerly puts his hand towards the thing, thinks better of it, and puts his cane towards where the bio fence used to be. Anything?
No.
Then Dieth hobbles his way over to the terminal and sees that it's dead. I assume that is what he sees.
Yes.
John, what about your chance to get home?
Well, I sure hope the broker has another way. That's all I can say right now, because this isn't an option anymore. I don't even know if we actually, I don't even know if we can finish the broker's task now that I've fucked up the computers.
John, he only wanted us to find it, to make
He
it
said
accessible.
there was something that was pretty obvious. And I mean, this whole facility is pretty darn obvious. I think we know what we're looking for here. He wants to come salvage this piece. He can come and get it. But maybe there's some particular component that made this whole thing go. Maybe that's what he's really after. Dieth takes a look around, trying to piece together what he understands of the science tidbits we've been getting out of the messages. Is there something that stands out to him now that he's actually able to walk into the teleportation chamber or pod or whatever that is particularly central to the operation of this facility?
In the center of the teleporter, I mentioned the 4 circles form a symmetric pattern. It's sort of like a Venn diagram almost. The circles overlap a little bit, and there's a small indent in the center of those circles.
A small indent. Well, I don't know that would stand out to DF as like, oh, it's the small indent for sure. Is there anything else about the pattern of the teleporters or the machinery of it that suggests, yeah, this is what the broker was definitely looking for?
It looks.
It's
it
like,
doesn't-
how about the power wires? Because we know this thing sucks down a huge, however many gigawatts.
Yes.
So
What the
are
hell
we-
is gigawatt?
are we seeing a lot of wires running to some particular part of the pad?
Yes.
Are you responding to a lot of direct messages?
Sorry, I was turning to whisper. Yes, yeah, definitely. There are cables that stand out to you.
All right. Dieth narrows his eyes as he follows the pathways of these cables, then heads over to the pad, gingerly taps at it with his cane before he gets anywhere close to it. Ways. I think that underneath of this indent here, we might well find the thing the broker's after. I think the magic box is underneath here. Yeah, you're little ways down the hallway. I'm talking loud enough that you can hear me.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It sounded like a close talk, not a distant talk. I don't know.
This is as loud as DS gets. Maybe if somebody says, "Hey, Waze, DS's trying to talk to you."
I don't shout. Yeah.
Well, it looks like we need to get back, Murph.
I am shouting.
I was going to say maybe Murphy. He's always yelling at top volume.
The doorway where the thing was that all the way up? Like you said, it was starting to open, but it got stuck.
Oh, like the door started opening like halfway. Like you can shimmy out. You personally.
Oh,
can
it was
force the door the
this
rest
way,
way.
not up and down.
Yeah.
Oh,
sideways.
okay.
Yeah, like a mall door.
Okay, I try to force it open more.
There's definitely a mechanical strain, but you're able to just force the door open. That door will never shut again. But I mean, the whole facility is broken now. So
Rip door.
rip door, strange door. No, it's weird door. Sorry.
Murphy hovers over to John and sort of gives him a once-over, checking him. Are you injured, John?
Both physically and psychologically, yes. But I'll live. Thank you for asking, Murph.
You are in good company, if that is the case.
Yeah,
Oh.
at least for the psychologically part, I can agree. I am in company that befits my stature. Physically, I think all of you are doing a little better than me right now, but
Was he hurt,
sometimes
Murphy?
sometimes you gotta throw elbows, you know?
Indeed, sir. I'm sure the doctor could help.
Noah walks over and throws John a stim pack. You look a little damaged there, John. I'm sorry you lost your chance. At least for the moment. There could be many more in the future. At least to get back home. But you have to stay on your feet in order to get there first. Use that.
So what? So you guys needed me for something? I was busy trying to wrangle a Gatling gun.
John stabs the stim pack in his leg and looks at Noah and almost defiantly just says, I didn't lose my chance, Noah. I made a decision. Nothing was lost to me. I chose the right course of action.
Looks like our talk the other day, or yeah, like talk the other day, really did get through to you there. Good job saving our lives, John.
So,
It's appreciated, kid.
I know you cut the power and all that, John, but are we still wanting to get out of here, guys? Teleport somewhere? Because I think I have an idea.
No,
Teleporting's not going to happen.
that ain't gonna work, I'm afraid.
I'd like to hear
Taking
your
a look
idea.
around the facility and the power box, DF points out a few things. Maybe if you and I had a few weeks to work at this, we could put things back in place. I know you're pretty handy with a wrench, and I think I've got an idea of how certain things here fit together. But it would be dicey.
He only destroyed the power box, not the actual device. Now you have two.
DF levers up the top of it to reveal the complex series of shattered vacuum tubes.
I hate to tell you, Aaron, I am not an engineer by any stretch, but even I know that the amount of power this thing needs in this wasteland, it's not going to be doable in a reasonable amount of time, especially with the order pushing on our heels.
And I have 2 fusion cores. You know how much power it takes to operate one of these pieces of armor?
It's possible, but don't you still need that?
Well,
You
let
want
me.
to keep the suit.
Can I roll here, GM, to see is there some way that we could potentially power, like even if it was just a short hop sort of transport, just out of the vaults,
Yeah,
or
sure.
or to get us back to the broker, because otherwise we're going to be traveling another week.
Yes. Yeah. Both of you can if you want. Both Aaron and DS can roll if they'd like. Repair or science will do the trick.
Okay,
All
I'll
right.
do repair if you want to do science.
All right, here he comes.
Oh boy.
You're welcome.
3 successes. Collected amongst
That'll
you.
have to. Yeah, it'll be all on you.
Good thought, Dr. DS. There's no way the teleporter will be powered back up to whatever it was supposed to do. But with a fusion core and some prayer, maybe you could do a short local hop. Like you said, maybe enough to get back towards the broker's bunker at least. So you can
All
probably
right,
do
so
kilometers
DF and
then watch
Waze
the
put
hull
their
explode.
head together. Waze suggests some obviously brilliant jerry rigging using his a power core, a fusion core from his suit, and just nodding his head. It's like, yes, that just might work, but it'll only get us, assuming the whole thing doesn't just fuse us into a wall, of course.
You can use Murphy as an additional power source. I've done it before.
Yeah,
I would
but
want to
that's
put Murphy through this. It might be the last thing he powers.
Yeah, that was my thought as well. And the fact that I picked up a spare power core back in Edmonton.
Serendipitous. Might as well take advantage of it.
It means that once my current power core runs out, that's it. So if we do this, I'm making a huge sacrifice. You do understand that.
If
If we are out of options, I would like to give myself up to all of you.
That's thoughtful, Murphy, but also tragic. Let's not do that.
It's not necessary. You're pretty confident, as confident as the two of you can be, that the fusion core should give you one short local hop in the right direction.
Aaron, if there's any way I can do anything for you, if I can get you another fusion core, I will. If I can do something else for you in recompense, I will. At this point, I owe you because this is you're doing this just as much for. Just let me know if there's any way I can repay you for the core. I know it's not an unvaluable item out in here.
When you get your answer from the broker, though, you'll be fine, right? Don't tell me it wasn't about your suit.
It's complicated. Either way, here's a few things that I'm thinking. Is if we do this, We need to make sure this technology doesn't get into the wrong hands.
Where's the wrong hands? I don't think I can count on anybody being the right ones.
Yeah, you're fine, which means this doesn't belong to anybody and shouldn't be anybody's. So
Don't get our answers from the broker if we don't deliver it.
Well, if
deliver
anybody
what
has-
exactly?
And Dieth points again towards the area of the pad that all of the really heavy cords, power cords, seem to be leading. Pretty sure it's all right there. At least the critical component. He waves his arms around here. I've seen all these pieces elsewhere. It's all old hat. Whatever is unique about this must be under there.
So you want me to take a look?
Just try not to damage it. That's our ticket out. I think our step forward here is we teleport it and ourselves out all in one go.
so it doesn't have
Well,
a
if I
chance
know
to
for-
fail.
Exactly. Otherwise, someone's getting stuck here or stuck in here.
All right. And I think what I can do for the rest of this place is when we use the fusion core, I could probably set it to overload and take out the vault with it.
It's not a bad idea.
Nothing here but unhappy memories.
Terminals can still be powered up if we take out what's here. Then
Mhm.
we hold all the cards.
What do you say, Chief?
I think it's a good idea. If we can't use it ourselves for, well, a John-based purpose, then I guess this is the best thing that we can do. Just make sure you don't fuse your suit to the whatever that is.
I want to give John some hope here, too.
Hmm.
If this really is the critical component, it's possible that it could be reintegrated with some other system and made to work again.
I already said DF. I made my choice. I had my decision to warp out of here, and I decided that my return to whence I came was not worth the lives of 5 people who've been nothing but good to me.
The
So
path of the hero is often one of sacrifice.
Yeah. So it's
Anyways,
hopefully the broker has some good answers for me, but we'll see.
So, GM, I would like to do two things. One,
Yes.
I would
Yep.
like to rig up our kind of jerry-rigged
Yep.
situation here so that the fusion core powers our jump and then overloads with whatever it has left to basically take out the vault.
Gotcha.
Second, I want to kind of investigate what the doctor pointed out to see what it is and if it can actually work for what we're needing it to do.
Okay. You're not under any particular duress, so at the moment. So I will say no rolls at the moment.
Yep.
Yes to the first one. Initiate cool rigging montage, like in those action movies where the computer guy gets to work and there's just like flashes of like torches and.
Unfortunately,
Iron Man
the-
holding a suit.
something
Yeah.
something arc welder.
Yeah.
unfortunately, the music guy didn't get the cue, and it's like.
It's just a guy.
I was hoping for some Eye of the
fingers.
Tiger. Too bad.
Yeah. And anyways, yeah. And secondly, this thing,
Yeah.
we'll call it the brain,
Wicked awesome.
could definitely be transported with you if you were
Okay.
careful with it.
What is it
So-
exactly? What does it look like?
Big black box.
For all big black box. For all intents and purposes, it looks like a ginormous processor. Like if they made like a GPU, but with Fallout tech.
Okay.
You know, somebody
Just
tried to
got a
do
vacuum tube sticking out of it in every direction.
with transistors.
So how big is it?
It's like a
The size of a
desktop
small
computer. Desktop computer sized.
Okay, like a CRT type size.
Not the monitor, like the actual computer,
Okay.
like the big box.
An
thing.
ATX
Yeah.
tower.
Okay. So handheld. All right.
Yeah.
So I will be handling that.
Ooh. Yeah. All right. Cue rigging montage and whatever epic music you want to play, but we can't play any because we're on stream. But lo and behold, TF and Waze and everyone else who helps is confident. Is confident that this should short hop you back towards the broker.
There's
And
about a
then blow up the vault.
50-50 chance that we don't die immediately.
Well, that's a certain, just a matter of when.
Right, immediately.
And there's a big flash of light, a terrible sensation that makes the less hardy amongst you want to throw up a little bit. And the sense of, you ever been on one of those, you ever been on those rides that, spin and then they spin backwards and the guy asks you want to go faster or whatever? Just
I
that
love those rides.
Yeah, terrible
Polar
sensation.
Express.
Yeah, Polar Express, yeah. Terrible sensation of a slingshot kind of effect, or being on the bat at Wonderland or something. There's just that terrible sensation. Again, for those of you with lower constitutions, there's just a sensation of queasiness, and then it's over. And the 5 of you, plus 1 very large black box item, find yourself back in the desert. And you actually can see that the broker bunker is within eye shot. Good job, guys. Good calculations.
Gentlemen, roll call.
Present.
Roll. I
I am here, sir.
haven't been sick to my stomach for several hundred years.
I don't want to be a jerk, but do you have a stomach?
It's
Still?
about as big as a raisin, and it is very angry with me right now.
Damn, that is some concentrated fury.
Waze. Sound off?
Waze is silent for a second. He then puts the black box on the ground. This can't belong to anybody. And then he crushes it.
Oh, so you just made the decision for us.
You're
That's
kidding me. Waze, we had a deal. I would pay for your stuff, and you would do what I tell you to do, and you just destroyed our ticket to get what we needed.
He doesn't need to know that.
We don't have anything to trade to him now. We can't complete the bargain.
We just lost our upper hand.
We're back a week early.
And
so what, we make something
How
up?
did we get here?
he didn't ask for us to tell him that we knew how to teleport. He asked for the thing to make it happen.
That technology, what we saw in there, doesn't belong to anyone. Shouldn't exist. I don't care what it cost us. That should not exist, period.
You motherfucker, I spent so long trying to get here in the first place, and you fucked it up in 10 seconds
John,
after we finished the job.
As Noah is yelling, John just puts his hand on his shoulder. He's not completely wrong. Let's just knock on the bunker and see what the fucking guy has to say. Maybe just opening the door was enough.
Who knocks on the bunker?
I knock on the bunker.
The door slides open in the same place as before, and the Protectron that you guys remember from several days ago walks out. Ah, you are back. This is unexpected.
Yes, we're back early.
Unexpected? You said he wouldn't remember us.
I do not, but the broker does. He is impressed with your resourcefulness.
For a guy who knows everything, you should have expected this.
My memory is wiped every 3 days.
Not you.
My familiarity with the broker is not. No.
Talking to him, not you.
No.
The broker must understand that it took a week to get there, and we're here a week early.
He understands many things. This is why you have been extended a special invitation. The broker would like to meet you, face to face.
Very well then.
Do I get to keep my guns?
You may keep everything on you that you deem necessary. The Protectron points behind him, and where there was just a big gaping hole, there's now a platform. Clearly, like an elevator platform.
Well,
You
everything
will proceed to the elevator.
we deem necessary means it doesn't matter. There's nothing we can do to him with what we got.
Murphy hovers to the platform.
Yeah, John's right with him.
That was a fucking wasting, I guess. And Noah walks onto the platform.
Dieth turns to Waze before he heads there. I'm kind of pissed off with you. But you know what? You're not fucking wrong. That was awful things that they had done with it. And I don't know who this broker guy is, but he's probably going to do worse things if he gets his hands on that stuff. Just cut me in on whatever crazy thing you're going to do next time, would you?
You know
Yeah.
what the worst part of this is? He says the elevator starts going down.
This is ending.
He can read our brains or scan them, whatever it said before.
Yeah.
So he probably already knows that this is gone tits up.
Which is good because he's invited us in after he already knows. By the way, Aaron, just want to let you know, not mad at what you did, just mad you didn't consult us. That's really the main.
I'm
But it's
fine.
all, hey,
Hate me. I honestly don't care. I will accept it all.
I punch his big metal armor in the shoulder, but it's all good.
As far as
There
I'm
were-
fucking concerned, this contract is over as soon as we're out of here.
Done.
Elevator
was-
reaches the bottom.
There was no time to talk.
The Protectron turns to the five of you. Please proceed down this hallway.
There's always
Step-
time to talk, clearly.
He steps slightly off of the elevator and then motions again with his arm down the hallway. Please proceed down the hallway. The broker is a busy man who would like to speak with you promptly.
John
Noah
proceeds down the hallway
fast
first.
walks.
No, John's in front of Noah.
They were fighting for the lead at this point then.
They're doing like Malcolm in the Middle, like speed walking competition. John all of a sudden has a weird teardrop shaped helmet.
Dieth contemplates as we start making our way down. You can see that his expression, which always seems rather crestfallen due to certain physical necessities, is looking troubled, more troubled than he did when Waze crushed the item they were supposed to be returning. Maybe we shouldn't have come.
As the last person, whoever's in the back of the group, reaches into the hallway, a huge, garage door, shuttle bay door kind of thing closes in behind you. And the dim lighting is replaced by big, bright lights. It's especially blinding because you guys have spent the last few hours in a very dim, on its last legs vault.
I turned down my brightness settings.
Yes. Yeah. And the five of you are before you. There is a massive place, a facility that would make Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory absolute sweat with jealousy. There are devices and machinations in the background, huge humming devices that could only be imagined in the fever dreams of sci-fi writers of old. There's smaller devices, intricate computer-looking things that just look completely and vastly alien to anything that this world should have. But maybe things that resemble what John is familiar with.
Uh-oh.
There is trinkets and bombs all over the room, ordered very nicely, neatly. Everything in this place. Compared to the scattered and clattered vault you were just in, this place is immaculately arranged and very well kept. So, the first thing after that you're aware of is the 4 super mutants with Gatling guns, miniguns, I should say, standing at the bottom of a platform about 15 feet away. The super mutants are holding the miniguns, but they're not holding them up. They're sort of just braced up against a hip, like they're ready to attack, but not feeling the need at the moment. And they sort of just snarl in your general direction, but do nothing else or say nothing else. And maybe that's caught the attention of most of you. But for John, there's only one sight in this massive room that catches his attention. It's not the devices or the machinations. It's not the mutants. It's not the weaponry. It's not just the out of place, not the more familiar surroundings of some of the technology here. No, it's the figure sitting on top of the raised platform in a very, very clean and orderly throne that he has obviously fashioned for himself. A tall, slender man, dressed in an ebon black, bones protruding where there should be not any. A crown fashioned upon him, but one of his own making, out of his own self.
John,
An entity which John immediately recognizes as Black Talon.
John just scowls like the most disgusted, like he's truly looking at a pile of filth. He's disgusted. And then he immediately walks over to Errant Ways and gives him he's a huge metal man, so he does his best to give him the deepest embrace he's ever given. And he whispers in a way that only Aaron would hear, "Thank you. You may have just saved countless universes. Hopefully."
Black Talon rises from his throne and opens his arm in a sort of cordial greeting like one might at the beginning of a dinner party. Ah, you're the 7th group I've sent to try to open that bunker. Resourceful, I like that. Don't tell me.
You're the broker.
Yes, I am.
Well, coming from one creepy-looking dude to another, you're not what I was expecting.
I told you he was real.
Why did you get here so much longer before me? That old man in the mall had his wife fixed by the broker like a decade ago. What is this?
Before you, are you? Oh, yes, I recognize you. You're... No, I don't remember your name, never mind. Sorry about that. Well, I don't have the time to explain how quantum physics works, I'm afraid. Instead, I'm here to offer you a proposition. You've brought me what I desire, and in exchange, I will give you what you want. But I have a feeling that a group like you would be helpful. You see, this is all a game of sorts. It's a game I intend to win. And the only way to win a game, to be guaranteed, is to play all the sides. In fact, I've gone one step up than that. Play more than one game. When I first arrived on this world, I don't know how long ago that was, it's hard to tell when you're jumping. This bunker network, it was set up very clever. Some sort of rudimentary AI software set up by a rival nation or whatever. I'm not interested in this planet's politics. But wouldn't you know it? Interconnected bunkers, communication systems that still worked, protected from the atomic fire that most of this planet saw. It was a gift, really. Easy enough to pass myself along as a broker. And also, of course, the automation of the system allowed me to not have to be here that often. Grant people's desires without having to actually speak with them. It was fantastic. However,
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I have to. You're letting on that you are a complete and utter monster because you're monologuing.
You're right. I'm sorry. I do that too often. I've been told I do that. I'm sorry. It's such a bad habit. Thanks. Thank you so much. You're right.
Where is the part where you give me back my dog?
Sorry, actually, I have something to say at this point, and I want to make this clear before we go any further. I have 2 points of order. First point of order. Speaking of order, try not to jizz in your pants, Black Talon. This guy is Black Talon, the guy who runs the order. So, do with that as you will. Number 2, if you guys try and side with him, I swear to fucking God, I will kill you myself. That's all.
I thought you were going to insist that we hadn't brought him what he wanted after all, anyways.
I think we could beat him if we had to, but back to the topic of my dog, please.
Yes, yes, well, you've brought me what I was after. I think a trade is only fair. Yes, dinner, wasn't it? Your dog, of course. And Murphy, keys. Dr. D.F. Errant ways, answers, and of course, John. That was it, wasn't it? John Smith. Away
Stop
home.
pretending. Okay, stop pretending like you don't know who I am. I ruined your greatest plan ever. Whether it was on purpose or by mistake, you know who the fuck I am. Look at me and tell me you don't know who I am, you piece of shit.
He smiles at you, which is horrible because his lips are way too big and his cheeks are absolutely mutilated. And he turns back to face sort of the 5 of you in the general direction. Yes, yes. All that you have asked for will be granted, but, and here's the essential part, I've noted your resourcefulness, and I think that there's a place for you in what I am turning this planet into. A place of order, a place of calm, a place of safety. People will die, but those that remain, the smart ones, they'll be safe. So, with that in mind, I will offer you a choice. You like choices, right? That's how life is dictated. I'll grant you a simple one. It's one I've offered many people in many different places. Simple as could be. Submit or die. And before anyone responds in any way, we are now going to flip our focus over to Shoot Downer, who in fact did survive the bombing of Edmonton. Dad, why don't you take it away for us, please?
Cough.
You will also need to unmute in order to do so.
Maybe he lost his voice in the attack.
Oh no!
Hi, sorry, I was somewhere else.
Hey,
Right.
Shoot Downer, you're on.
After escaping the destruction at the Edmonton Mall, Hugh Downer raided an old army bunker, which only Hugh and some of his deputies knew about. In the bunker, Hugh grabbed an RPG launcher, an A134 minigun, and a Mossberg double-barrel shotgun double-barrel shotgun. Then proceeded with one other survivor to track the main characters to the bunker where the leader of the order and his followers are holed up in. Upon arriving at the bunker, Hoot uses the shoulder-mounted RPG launcher to blow open the door. Then Hoot proceeds to enter the bunker and lets loose with the minigun, virtually wiping out all the followers present. After the smoke clears and the minigun is empty, Hoot lowers it to the floor and grabs the Mossberg shotgun and points it at the head of Black Talon. Did someone call pest control? Because I'm the exterminator. You blew up my town and you killed my deputies, and now I'm here to return the favor.
You're muted, Nathan.
You muted Nathaniel.
Shoot Downer. Don't be a moron. leave the bunker and we'll figure this out another way.
Hugh Downer, not wishing to converse with Black Talon, aims the Mossberg shotgun at Black Talon's face, and from 20 feet away pulls both triggers. The Mossberg erupts with the fire and smoke from 1,200 metal balls traveling at 1,800 feet per second. Normally, such a load of buckshot would have made the upper torso of a human disappear in a fountaining cloud of blood, bits of flesh, bone, and teeth. However, what transpires next is due to the fact that Black Talon is not human.
The smoke clears a little bit, and Hugh notices that there's nothing in front of him. Instead, Black Talon's now beside him. Oh, please. And Talon backhands Hugh Downer. There's a snap as Hugh's head spins in a direction too far for any human head to spin, and he drops to the floor. The second survivor who entered the bunker with him is none other than one of the Brotherhood guys that the group encountered in the wastes. He, having shot along with Hute, raises his gun to face him, but before the Brotherhood guy can respond, Black Talon gives out a light jab through the helmet. The helmet shatters, and the poor fool's skull is crushed in. The two corpses fall to the ground. Black Talon shakes his hand out. Man, he looks down at his cloak, which now has little bullet holes in it. This was silk. This plant doesn't even have silk anymore. I didn't import this. Now, where were we, gentlemen? Ah, yes, I remember. Submit or die.
Can we ask questions?
I'll allow it if it's short.
You said people that submit, and you're going to be creating order, and we're going to be safe.
Mm.
Safe from what? What is this order that you speak of, and what about our own ability to choose?
I understand for some of you, it's a hard concept, but I'm protecting you from you. I'm protecting you precisely from choice. That's why my choices are simple, easy, simple to understand.
It's really interesting how...
The ability to choose is what doomed this world in the first place. Every one of us can see that.
And how are you going to fix it? Are you going to get rid of the radiation? Are you going to give us a utopia to live in? What are you going to do aside from not killing us?
In time, perhaps this world can be rebuilt. Look around you. Wonders and marvels that I've picked up from this planet and others. In fact, the information on the component that you brought me is one of the last pieces of the puzzle I needed for a very important device. So thank you. Oh, but you smashed it. Yes, of course. Well, we scan brainwaves, don't we? I've taken images from your minds, like photographs. I have an excellent memory. Shouldn't be too hard to replicate, now that I know what it looks like. So thank you. Yes, perhaps in time, the radiation can be chased away. This planet can once again sing with life. It'll take time. Probably not in this generation or the next. But this world will know peace. That is what I promise all worlds that I visit.
And what of these other worlds?
I'm sorry. I really have things to do, places to go. I'm going to need your decision now, the five of you.
You
Submit
don't bullshit
or
a
die.
bullshitter. I've been doing this for as long as I've been alive. I'd like to see a little extra proof. I keep
John
asking
walks.
about my dog. Where's my dog?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
produce the
Right.
dog.
Oh, yes, of course. And he snaps his fingers, and another super mutant comes out of a sliding panel you didn't even know was there. First, he tosses a set of keys towards Murphy, and then on a leash, he pulls out a dog, identical in feature to Dinner. There, the tangible items as a show of goodwill. The rest will come in time.
What do you mean in time? The deal was we do your job, and clearly you got what you wanted, so we get our reward.
Yes, yes. But don't you think this is a much more pertinent question?
John
No,
walks 3 steps
absolutely.
forward. All right. You know what? I fucking hate your dumbass. And you know why. Stop pretending you don't know why. Or do. I don't care. My question was, how the fuck do I get out of this world? So the question is, do I have to choose live or die, or can I just choose to fuck off? Because that's, you know?
Such stubbornness. Ugh. Such bullheadedness. What a shame. I really thought you might be different than all of the other idiots on this world. But
I don't need to hear your fucking proselytizing. Yes, no, or I can leave.
he turns away from John and just kind of takes a scan of the four of you. What is the general posture that the four of you are giving Blacktown at this moment?
Fuck. Noah is not even looking at his dog because he doesn't trust this, but he's staring. Like he's on like his back foot leaning like a little bit. Like his body language says this is bullshit. If I'm gonna die anyway, what's the difference? Arms crossed, like just shaking his head.
Okay, and all right. So
Just go through us in sequence if you want to get our reactions.
Yeah, Dieth?
Yes.
Just a posture. You don't have time to say anything. I just want to get a sense of what you're reacting physically.
Dieth has steepled his fingers together throughout the whole submit or die. His countenance growing a little more angry, obviously angry, over the course of the conversation. And he's reaching for his submachine gun.
Okay, gotcha. Murphy?
He did give you your keys.
Murphy floats towards the exit.
Oh, wow, okay. Gotcha. Aaron?
Aaron's honestly undecided.
Okay. What does that look like for him? Like, I know you're in a big suit of armor, so it's not like you can read facial expressions, but what's his posture right now?
Posture is neutral. He's not ready to attack. He's not ready to leave or anything. It's just kind of thinking, oh, what can I do if anything? He still hasn't given me any proof of anything.
Yeah.
I still want my answers.
Right. So, okay.
Yeah.
So all of that was like in like a millisecond. So I'm trying to get across that Black Talon moves very quickly. Black Talon scans the aisle and then snaps back to John like he in a split second. Nobody talks to me like that. I'm the Overlord, filth. Kill them. This conversation's over. Thanks for the tech, by the way. And Black Talon does a 180 and starts walking towards one of the walls. In the meantime, every other panel along the wall slides open, and out pops a sentry bot out of each of them. If you don't know what a sentry bot looks like, I'm sure someone really nice is going to post a picture in the chat or something along that.
Is it going to be like one of those spider bots we had seen in the lab underneath?
So it's the classic Fallout sentry bot. They're
okay.
They're like on wheels. They have like a little tripod thing.
I don't know what they look like.
So if someone could work on that while I continue the description.
On it.
There it is.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Oh shit! Holy
Yeah, that's it.
fuck!
And it's dangerous.
That's fine. It'll just explode after we kill it. It's fine.
Aaron's seen them before, right?
Yeah,
Big
oh,
time.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, you know that these are the
Yeah.
anti
Let me
power armor dudes.
let me
basically.
put it this way.
Yeah.
If Aaron ever wanted to have a worthy sparring partner for
Yeah.
wrestling,
Yeah.
this was it.
One slides out of every other wall panel on the floor that you're currently on. So much so that all the super mutants are Gibbs now, I guess, thanks to Hugh Downer. They just sort of wheel past the Gibbs and the corpses left behind. And each of you notice that there's gotta be at least 24 of them. They're sort of grinding to formation, and they're coming out fast enough. Also, Murphy, that they've at least for the moment cut you off from the opening that Hugh made with his RPG, which was a big enough opening for 2 men to shimmy out of, kind of thing. With that in mind, so let's for the moment say that there are, how many did I say there were? Let's say 24, yeah. So let's make that firm. There are 24 as you count them very quickly. They've ascended out of every wall panel possible. They are very big, very tough, and you can start to hear the whirring as their guns power up. Their fusion core. And I would like, let me see for 1 second. Yes.
On a
okay.
scale of
Yeah,
1
okay.
to 10, we're dead.
Okay.
During this pause, I normally would never do this. I have to pee so bad. I'll be right back. I'm so sorry.
Okay. I don't think I need you guys to roll initiative again. I think okay, great. So what I want each of you to do is, I was going to have John Smith go first, but I guess we'll put him at the bottom again. I want each of you to I want you to describe what you do like you would in normal combat. Engage, find cover. There's lots of things in this room. This isn't like a big empty room with a whole zillion sentry bots. There's the throne that Black Talon was sitting on. There are, like I said, various things that look like everything from like an air conditioning unit up to giant generators way in the back. Like this place is like I apologize if I didn't understand the scale, but like there's like empty chasms in various directions, and then like just giant machinations standing around in every which way.
2 questions when you're done.
Okay. Yeah. Asking me your questions because now I need.
Okay. Is there anything hanging from the ceiling? And is there anything that looks like a weapon of any kind out in any of these rows of things?
Okay. Question number 1, no. Question number 2, Hugh Downer dropped all of his weapons when Black Talon snapped his neck. The Brotherhood, the Dead Brotherhood guy also has a laser rifle that he had in his hands. The super mutants that Hugh Downer destroyed with his explosives and minigun fire were all carrying miniguns of their own. So there are weapons strewn around on the ground.
There's only one rocket in that RPG, though, huh?
Which he already fired.
If
only we had a big boy. I mean, a fat man.
Fat man.
Big
I would like each of you.
That'd be a great way to
roll-
kill everybody.
I would like each of you to roll just a straight d20, please. We might just have to wait until John comes back because I want him to roll that as well.
I got a 20.
DS
Somebody got a 1.
10.
We'll see which is good and which one's bad in a second.
Yeah. If we got 11, so. And Thomas, you're back. Great. Could you roll me just a straight d20, please?
Absolutely. Sorry for having to disappear. Wow, that's...
Ooh.
Oh, no, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
We don't know
yet.
It could be.
Nope, that's good. I've decided.
John and
Just asserting it.
John and Errant, can you both please re-roll 1d20? Wow. Okay. All right. Errant, you catch sight of an interesting setup on one side of the chamber. So I'm sorry. I have a hard time with measurements and scales, but a massive room. There's all kinds of giant chasms. On one side, obviously, on one wall, you imagine it was the big garage, like shuttle bay doors or whatever, which are now sort of cut off by these sentry bots. One side, there was just a blank big metal wall. The other opposite end was like there's a bit of wall, then there's a giant like handrail, right, sort of separating this platform from the giant chasms that lead to the big generator-looking things off in the distance. And on the other wall, there is the little throne, we'll call it, where Black Talon was sitting. And off to one side, the right side off of that, there looks to be some kind of interface setup. How do I describe this? It's not like the regular terminals you saw in the vault. It's like a lawn, like desk lawn, like console setup. It's the controls are facing away from you, so the controls are up against the wall. You're seeing or like a bridge console on the Enterprise or something. Like it's got that kind of aesthetic to it.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing the table from this side. And there's some levers, there's some, but you're guessing, you don't know how many buttons there are, but you can see things glowing and reacting on the panel. And you notice it's the only space in the room from which a sentry bot didn't peel out of a panel in the wall. They've sort of left that corner unattested at the moment. I mean, unattested, there's 24 sentry bots in the room. But there's just like an area like that. And because you rolled a 1 twice, I'm going to have you roll survival, please.
Yep.
Okay.
Can I use finance?
You can't spend a luck point to substitute luck.
No, actually, my regular endurance is better.
I figured.
I have a 50-50 shot here, guys.
You did it.
Okay. As one of the sentry bots passes by the area, you notice there's like a little bit of a shimmer as he passes, and it reminds you of the gate you saw earlier. Your mind immediately goes to, oh, there's a force field around that console. Okay. And now, John, because you also rolled a 1 the first time, I would like you to also roll. You can roll survival if you'd like, but you could also roll repair or science or what else might make sense?
Pilot,
Small guns.
lockpick, explosives, barter. You can go barter.
I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and make this easy for you, unless it is
Athletics.
speech.
Athletics.
Athletics. That was actually one of the two I was gonna say.
Hey.
Yeah. All right. Drawn either by your own eyes or by errant ways sort of focusing on that part of the room, you maybe don't catch the shimmer, but you notice another detail of the area. The floor is immaculate and even, but there's one little hiccup in the ground. And it looks like very, very recent. Perhaps an explosive that he threw or some residue from one of his shots. But
damage from the RPG, maybe.
Damage from the RPG's initial blast. There's one part of the metal floor that's been lifted slightly. And you can see, so it's like the size of like that. You can see that part of the metal is sticking through and interfering with the force field.
How big did you say the gap that's being made is?
Like a peach pit. Like you could
Right.
fire a bullet through the hole, but nothing's going to be able to slip past it.
Right.
Okay.
Or you could throw a
This
peach
is-
pit.
Now,
And if
this
you
is
were to fire a bullet through the hole, you couldn't just do a straight shot to get at what's inside, though. It would have to be some sort
No.
of tricky
All of-
bounce shot.
the controls, like I said, are facing away from you, right? They're towards the wall. This would have to be some kind of bounce shot. This
It has to be some crazy
is
bounce shot going multiple directions.
possible.
Impossible. Unless you never miss.
Unless it's you never miss. Yeah.
Unless you're in a giant suit of armor. Right, I got it, guys. I got it.
Believe in
Alright.
you. I know you
You
can
go do it.
Run through that wall, baby.
Punch right through.
Okay, so Aaron and John, you've both essentially noticed this corner. Okay, so you've noticed this. Both of you, in different ways, have noticed the force field. You've both noted that this is the only part of the room where the sentry bots haven't swarmed out of, and the only part of the room that there seems to be any kind of interface to. Noah, as normal, I'm going to have you go. We're going to restore normal turn order here. So I'm going to have Noah go, and then John, and then Nick, and Murphy, and Aaron, and so on. So.
Weren't you saying you wanted us to do like some abstract actions?
Yes, but I changed my mind because you guys managed to roll on the d20s.
Okay.
I didn't expect us to see that.
I want
Not right away.
to get behind cover.
His name is Errant.
Whatever the closest large object that looks like it can maybe take a couple bullets is.
That's called Aaron.
There's those gigantic generators or machines that you said.
Roll
Engines
survival.
can stop a bullet, so I'm pretty sure I might be able to do that.
Roll survival.
Yeah, you might not want to be around Aaron for what Aaron plans to do.
Can I do athletics instead? Oh, I'm gonna fail.
Oh, you could do athletics if you're doing like a little dive roll or something like that.
I think I'd rather that. I have more in that. Let's go. Oh wow.
Nice. Okay, wow. Nice, very good. Okay. Where did that go?
When the dice rolls matters, guys.
Okay.
So I guess Noah does like a bond roll into like the coolest looking machine.
Yeah, exactly. You have total cover, mechanically speaking. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Did that give us any action points?
Yes, you have one action point.
Okay, so we're back up to 4. Does that count as like a roll?
You roll.
Then
You
That's
rolled.
my turn?
That was your major action. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Then I want to say, gentlemen, get into cover if you can. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do. Explosives might help, though.
Only if you brought a shit ton with you.
Hopefully we did.
Checking my pockets, not finding a shit ton, Chief.
Author's note, he didn't. And
All right, where to now,
that's my
GM?
turn.
Entry bot time.
Oh no!
This is when they knew. They fucked up.
Done fucked up, son.
And who's that aiming at?
Not
It's
me.
it's a missile launcher, so it's firing into the center.
Right.
Does anyone have a
Oh,
defense
splash
of
damage.
3?
Hey, you remember earlier when I said John takes 3 steps forward?
Waze, yeah.
That's a sprint.
So John's cool.
So Waze says he has his defense over 3.
Yep. I have defense over 9,000. Sorry.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'm sticking by what I said. I'm out of the blast zone.
Let's see. Okay, so I got 12.
That is a lot.
If your defense is less than 3, please mark 12 physical damage. Or
what's
I need your hit
the-
location. Hold on.
What's the hit location? Yeah.
19.
19 is right leg.
Right leg.
Do I take damage after having dodged out of the way preemptively?
Noah, you are okay.
Okay.
What type of damage is this? Oh, it's physical.
Physical.
Okay.
Okay.
And who takes damage?
Everybody except for Noah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I still got my leg, guys, but it's not looking good.
So, if you do not have enough DR to soak it down below 5, your left leg or left jet, in Murphy's case, is now
Mhm.
crippled. So,
I actually
Ow.
think Murphy should
Ow,
be
ow.
unaffected.
so it's still an explosive though.
No, my thruster is affected, so I'm.
So he blasts upwards and
Oh,
takes
yeah.
half damage, right?
He rocket
Good effort,
jumps
though.
unintentionally.
Okay. The second dude, because I am so nice, I'm such a benevolent GM, fires at Errant. Here we go.
86 damage.
Success.
I already told you I have over 9,000 defense. It doesn't hit. You laugh, but it's true.
I think you said you have 14 in your head.
Please roll hit damage, please.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sorry. 9?
9 is left arm.
Okay. So that's,
Hi,
7
Jeff.
physical to left arm. So,
You mean 1 physical?
there we go.
Nice.
Okay, so first sentry bot fires off a rocket into the center of the group, blasting you. All of you feel that one in various ways. The second sentry bot fires up one of its chain guns, aiming for one of Aaron's arms. The armor fractures, but takes the damage for now.
So when you say the second sentry bot, this is out of how many that we saw come out of these panels?
24, so there are 22 additional sentry bots.
Please let this be abstracted.
Nope. Those are all they'll lack before John Smith, though. So it's over to you, John. 22 additional sentry bots start priming their weapons.
Okay, very
Right.
good. I want to make this very clear. This is a joke before I say it, so that there's no
Okay.
way you can be cruel in any sense. John pulls out his shotgun and shoots the nearest sentry bot in the leg.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
John pulls out his hunting rifle and shoots through the hole in the force field and gets the bullet to go up and then whip around to hit the control panel in a way that will disable all the sentry bots, God willing.
okay. Well, can I have you roll a stat that is good for you that you would feel is appropriate? Not for the miss or not miss, but
A
for
skill or a
something gets-
stat?
whatever. Any roll.
I'm just gonna roll my hunting rifle if that's fine with you, since that's what I'm shooting.
Yeah, there's no chance you're going to miss. What I'm looking for here is that some of the
Gotcha.
sentry bots are close enough that they could get an opportunity attack on you.
4 successes.
So I want you to roll something to designate whether or not any of them get a shot in on you or something like that before it goes down. So 4 successes, nice. Sorry, I was in the middle of my ramble.
All good.
Wow, what a roll to finish off this. Let me tell you what happens, friends. Hold on to your
Please.
popcorn.
I don't have any.
Or your pretzels or whatever you're
Oh
doing.
no.
John does an epic drop shot.
I was already falling because
Epic
my
drop
leg is
shot.
decimated.
Because your leg is decimated. You turn what could have been a very
Shattered
embarrassing
bone.
fall onto the ground into an epic drop shot. You slide a little bit along the smooth metal floor. The hunting rifle gets pulled out from John's pack and he fires the bullet. It sails right through the tiny hole created by the imperfection in the floor. Through the hole, bounces off the metal, hits the panel. There's a spark. There's a flash. There's the sound of like all wind escaping from everywhere. Like, you know when like a cabin on an airplane depressurizes? It's like that times 1,000. There's a sickening sense. First it hits you, John. You're technically the closest now to this panel as it activates. and there's a sensation. The first thing that pops into your mind just before everything starts to fade is, I did it. I blew up the facility. This is the mushroom cloud. This is the flames coming to get me.
I chose die rather than submit.
I chose the die around the Smith exactly. Yeah. And as the wave passes over you, your sensation of that's it, I'm dead, fades for just a moment, and it's just a moment. But the sensation of the heat and the smoke and the flame, the sight of the hot air rushing towards you, for just a moment, gets replaced with a different sight. The red fades to black, and the blinding white forms into little dots. If you had to place a guess, stars? And then it rushes over you. And it rushes over the sentry bots, and the others, and the whole facility. And there's the sound of emptiness. There's a sound of wind blowing. And the wasteland continues. And no one notices what happened in that bunker. But if anyone did care to peek inside, to peek into the little hole made in that blast door, well, they wouldn't find anything. And gentlemen, that is a walk through the wastes.
Question. Did
Hey.
we just...
Hold on, before questions. Hey!
Yay!
No. This is a very appropriate question.
All right.
Did we get the 24-minute Fallout 1 ending?
No.
Wait, I have actually a more appropriate question.
Did we level up?
Which is, we did just kill 24th century bots. Did we level up?
Did we level up? Yeah. Everyone take as many levels. 25? 25 levels? Whatever.
Yeah, that's a lot of levels.
Yeah,
my dog.
Yeah, maybe.
This is going to take a long time.
I don't believe that was my dog.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think.
What if it was?
What if it was?
Just gave you your dog. Said
He
here.
promised you his dog.
Well,
He didn't.
You don't
Okay,
bullshit a bullshitter too easy.
He didn't give me any power cells, nor did he give me any answers.
That's the beauty of it. Is
That was an asshole.
If it was his dog, it either blew up with him, which is beautiful, or teleported with him, which is beautiful.
Mhm.
So,
Gotcha.
whatever.
So,
Gentlemen, I know we are.
DF never got his answer either. This was a really simple one. You're just like, yeah, your wife and kid are dead. Anyways, there you go.
The truth of the matter
That was
is,
even easier than the keys, honestly.
the truth of the matter is, Dr. DS knows the answer. So
Yeah, they're
that's
fine.
really
They got their
funny.
own adventure series.
yeah.
It's a spin-off.
yeah.
It's really
Don't worry
interesting,
about it.
actually.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Something about mystery adventures or something. Solving
They're-
for the kids.
Wild
They're-
Imperium Renegade.
His son was named Bircham.
yeah, I was about to say they're part of the Bircham and Corman Chronicles.
That's right. Yeah. His. That's right. Despite him having mentioned he had a daughter, it's Bertram.
His daughter was named
It was named
Mama
Bertram. Don't
Bertram.
Hey,
think too hard
Mama
about this, okay?
Hey,
That's it.
in all respect, you don't know what happens in the 24th century. Everything is
It's true.
okay.
Everything's okay. There you go. Now, gentlemen, I know
What happens on Ryza stays on Ryza, right?
I know we are a tad over, but I do have one final piece of the puzzle. Our epilogue. It is about 4 or 5 minutes long, and it is very, very appropriate for this. I want to thank. It's a little audio presentation, so I hope that you will enjoy. I want to give a huge thank you to Christian Apollo
I knew it.
for voicing this presentation. And I
You're a
want
bad liar.
And I want to give a huge thank you to Chris for writing and producing this. So, thank you very much.
Damn it, Chris, you knew all along.
Without further ado, here is our epilogue for A Walk Through the Wastes entitled Better Black.
Before you do you want to play a test piece?
Oh, yes, sure. So here is Tesson.
Yep.
Coming through.
All good.
I'm here and it's getting picked up. Cool. Hit
Okay,
it.
great. Okay, and here comes our epilogue for A Walk Through the Wastes entitled Better Black.
Michael was really still a child when the plague hit. They called it the plague on the news when there was still news broadcasts, before things got really bad. Can you imagine it? People died faster than they could be buried. Bodies piled up in morgues, then in meat freezers, and eventually in the streets. He lost his sister to the plague early on. It was a kindness. There was a proper funeral, a few days to mourn, before the next tragedy. A few months later, the plague took his mentor, Black Bear. I remember the smell of blood and vomit. That someone so strong could be taken down by something so small. It didn't make any sense to Michael. Michael took up his mentor's mantle as best he could, but social order broke down as power plants failed. Water stopped flowing or came out of the pipes tainted, and Michael did his best to keep law and order in his city as things went from bad to worse. But Michael just wasn't very strong. Time after time, he would wake up beaten, strangled, cut, shot. He'd wake up and he'd heal. But in the meantime, while he was down, more terrible things had happened. Terrible things he hadn't been strong enough to stop. One day, a riot broke out. Who knows why? The price of clean water, maybe? The riot swelled, became like a living thing, crazed, thousands of angry people lashing out in every direction. They swept into the tiny corner of the city Michael had been trying to keep safe, and he was too weak to stop them. He tried, but they beat him and broke him, and they ignored his pleading. They killed his mother in front of him when she tried to protect him, and then moved on like a wildfire. He fell unconscious again, like the weak little boy he was. And when I finally woke up, my wounds stitching themselves back together again, that boy was dead. No more Michael Miga. That boy had believed things happened for a reason. That boy had been a fool. There was no reason to the plague. There was no reason in the madness that followed it. Everything was just bad luck, random chance, the arbitrary universe flipping a coin on whether anyone gets to live or die. I decided the world deserved better than that. The years that followed were hard, I'll admit. I took a lot more beatings, but I never fell ever again. I made others fall. I fought my way to the top of the biggest group of bandits and thugs in my city and turned them into a militia. I turned that militia into an army. I took cities, and then I took nations. It all took a long time, of course, but I couldn't die, and I wouldn't give up. And when I finally stood atop the dust heap that my world had become, I brought it order. Deserts bloomed, cities were rebuilt and flourished. Yes, it cost lives, a lot of lives, but that's what history looks like, a long tale of the violence necessary to breed peace and prosperity. I ruled there for a long time. I didn't count the years, they don't matter to me. I brought order where there had been chaos. But I was discontented. Every man, woman, and child was safe from each other under my rule. But what of another plague? Or some other disaster? Some further roll of the cosmic dice? See, that's why when the Lord Oblivion found me, I followed him without a second thought. His perfect plan is everything I want and had never thought possible. He helped me become the man I am, the man I always was on the inside. Someone strong, someone who could make a difference, someone who could never fall and could never fail, someone who could end chaos forever. I am the Overlord. I am order. I am Black Talon.
And thus ends the walk through the waste. Thank you very much.
Freaking love it. Oh my god.
Christian, amazing, but also boo.
Yeah.
Did you like how I was throwing my voice? My mouth barely moved at all.
Incredible.
Christian, since
Cool.
since you're here and you're Black Talon, can you do me a favor? Can you give me my dog back, please?
No. It's dead.
Oh,
So-
Hey Richard, look to your side. Your dog's there.
Oh.
no, the door's closed. I don't have a dog in here.
Oh. there you go.
Oh well.
No, your dog just turned invisible. That's all.
Transparent,
No.
Wow.
transparent canine. That's the ticket, laddie.
That's the ticket, laddie.
What a great
That was so good.
season.
Yeah, Nathaniel. Another
Yeah,
wonderful
I'm
one.
glad I didn't
High five.
technically die.
We don't know.
Well,
what
we don't know what happened to you.
Or
That's
any
what
of
I'm
you.
saying. I didn't technically die.
Wherever you went, 21st century boss
You
went
know.
with you.
You know what it is. Nathaniel could run out of money and story ideas and come back to this because I didn't technically die.
I mean,
Run out of money and yeah.
That's what he said about
That's right.
Renegades, and they only got a cameo appearance at the end of a show.
All right. I know that to
It's
leave you in
expensive bringing
suspense,
those old sets back to life. What can we say?
There's two things I want to address now. I do want us to sit
Excuse me.
and kind of bask in season 2 being complete, but there was a couple things I promised. So first, I should mention we are taking a hiatus for the month of December. We will be back in January. We were going to take a break for Christmas anyways, and then there's also some life things happening with the Kiefer brothers. So we're
Before
gonna
you
extend that
go into the
December.
next thing,
However,
are we planning to keep the Wednesday time and just do a whatever during that time, or?
yeah, if we're around and people want to play or have fun or hang out, then yes,
Just show up.
we will still be open, but we are taking a hiatus from RPGing for the month of December.
Okay.
And because I'm a really nice guy. I would never leave you wondering what season 3 is for like
Thank
6
you
weeks.
so much.
Yeah, you would.
So
We
I
sort
will-
of talked about this a little, but like, goddamn, I would have died of anticipation.
Nah, it's fine. We
will-
wait.
I will do a
Christian, stop being Jack
brief,
Nicholson.
I will do a very brief description of season 3. We'll get into way more detail in the weeks to come or whatever, but I'll just do a very brief tease. Season 3 is entitled One Last March. And for this season, we are heading to a medieval world, heavily inspired by the Fire Emblem franchise. So think low fantasy, think magic exists, but it is very dangerous. Very
What?
scary,
Done.
people hate it.
There.
Christian, you will be team captain of season 3. You are in charge of a elite group of witch hunters. Your mage hunters who are tasked with killing the wizards who are plaguing this world.
Let's go!
This team will consist of characters created by Christian, Richard, Thomas, and Chris. And we'll find
go.
a very interesting find early in their adventures. None other than Rick Corner will be reprised by Kirk.
Mhm.
Well, unfortunately,
Nice.
guys, you can only find Rick if you end your turn on a specific tile in the desert
Desert.
map
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was map like
on
17.
the 5th
Wait.
chapter.
Like,
and if
it's
you
fun
don't
that we played
stop
this game
there,
with a walkthrough.
Who's that I see off in the distance? Is it Rick the Brick, the witch killin', the ditch fillin', the spiciest motherfucker?
See, it's funny.
I was laughing every
because
time you brought up Rick Corner because I'm like, he's coming next.
we can tie witches to Rick and throw him in the water to kill them.
Like,
See, every time you were mentioning Rick, I was like, everyone who's watching is just going to be like, these guys are all in on this. This is so scripted bullshit. They know who's coming next.
I'm not
This is
even
stuff that's been
waiting
literally
after
like
the podcast is over. Like,
okay,
there are so many character parallels are happening like crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's natural. We still ask, right?
which is hilarious because
Yeah.
they're the same guy. But also, like Eagle Jormanson and Aaron, like kind of with their like, I'm not stupid, but I am the big brawn guy. Like there are so many just like
Yeah,
analogs happening.
So-
between
of us, right? That makes sense.
So
So-
funny thing about that, if you didn't go before me and you didn't make that shot, I was going to grab 2 Gatling guns, hold them one in each arm, and then basically run up and like go guns blazing to all the robot things, and then set off my fusion core for an explosion.
I went before you then.
Go in that blaze of
because
glory. Yeah, it's good.
I'll be honest.
Just
I don't.
saved him from a fiery death, and
I'm
us
pretty
as well.
sure you haven't played Fallout before, but like even just blowing yourself up on these things won't do the trick.
Well,
Unfortunately,
there was a giant chasm, so it could have blown them
Silly.
off into the
Yeah.
chasm.
the silly well
true.
armored. You could have gotten a couple of them, maybe.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of something in the Fallout universe that's scarier than a sentry bot, and I'm kind of coming up blank.
And also-
Deathclaw.
Super Mutant
Well,
No, I'd rather fight a Deathclaw.
I'd rather fight a behemoth too, honestly, because you can outmaneuver them.
And also
Not
like
on the
legit.
old games, on the original games, but they didn't
Yeah.
exist in those ones. Thank you.
Kazador.
Well, because also like you wouldn't have seen Aaron
Yeah.
use a gun up to that point, and you see him grab 2 Gatling guns. You're like,
That is
oh,
true.
we're fucked.
Taking it seriously, yep.
Things are bad.
ODS knew we
Like,
were fucked
oh.
as soon as a single sentry bot showed up. That's
Yeah.
why I was like, so how many did we just see? 24? Okay, all right. It's
Yeah.
overkill is an acceptable mode.
Pretty sure 24 sentry bots could take out the entire Brotherhood of Steel.
I'm gonna have to
Could have sworn into
Unironically.
them all.
Yeah.
remember how to play Rick.
That's okay.
We can always
Black Owl had
review.
2 vertebrates to take out Edmonton Mall, so.
We've got a month or so in order to remember how to play Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
24 sentry bots could take out 2 vertibirds.
Yeah. So Christian, like I said, is
I
going to
don't
be
think
team
there's anything
captain.
left in the Fallout universe that
Rick's
24
coming
century bots
back. Got some
couldn't
new
deal with.
characters joining
Nice.
them. Like I said, dark fantasy, Fire Emblem medieval setting, and the system we'll be using is Dungeon World, which is D&D meets Power by the Apocalypse.
Nice.
So it's a class based. It's playbooks like Masks, but the playbooks are like your classic like barbarian fighter, etc.
Okay, we're gonna do like a custom one for my character.
Yeah.
Forsooth, what ho!
So
Gallant.
it's inspired by D&D. Like the stats are, you got your strength, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, etc., etc. But
Yep.
it's powered by the apocalypse. It's the 2d6 with a number like in Masks. So I think
Got
we'll
it.
all catch on very quickly because it's essentially the same thing under the hood.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
Good.
Cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So that'll be season 3,
Likewise.
one last March.
Nice.
So
Oh, it's
But-
an Alice in Wonderland thing because it's the last March hare.
Yeah.
But what if we're doing it in April?
oh no. I
Then
do it
we're
in
very
January.
late. We're super late then.
super very important day. So there it is, gentlemen. Thank you so much
Super
for
cool.
season 2.
Well, thank
And
you,
you
Nathaniel,
enjoyed
for
it?
season 2.
Yeah.
And farewell
It's a
to
wonderful
everyone
season.
until we return with the new season.
That's right. Yeah.
I hope we don't die.
We'll be back. But
Oops.
Take
see you
care.
later.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Thanks for sticking with us.
Oopsie.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
See you on
all
the flip.
above.
Waka,
Happy
waka,
New
waka.
Year.
I love you.